And we are live. Welcome to the second episode of the Gamer Idea Foundry. I do apologize for the delay. That was unfortunate, but things happened and life had to take place
All right.
first. So you cut me off, man.
What? Oh,
You cut me
sorry.
off. All right.
I
I
didn't know
do
you started.
apologize to whoever was waiting for the second episode. We will be underway. I was trying to wait for additional people, but they couldn't make it. So we're going to try to do this in the spirit that they would have been here. But this episode is titled "The Legend of MMO, a Zelda Game." Obviously, it should have read the other way, but I did that on purpose. I thought it made more sense. But my cast are going to, along with me, we're going to kind of paint the scene, the creation of a Legend of Zelda MMO. So I'm going to go with my first guest from my left to my right. I'm going to start with the man with the worthy butter, Jamie Butterworth.
What's up, guys? Jamie Butterworth here, aka Butterworthy, and let's figure out some MMO stuff with Zelda.
Alrighty. I'm going to go to the youngest member and the most excitable, if you remember the first episode, Gamer Man 906.
Hey guys, Gamer 906 back at you once again here at GBG IN Andre whatever.
Wow.
Great video game ideas not used.
Yeah. Great video game ideas not used. And this will be a great episode because I actually do want to hear what he has to say for this Zelda MMO. So let's get it started.
So wait, you don't want to hear what he has to say in general? Sorry, I just had to say that.
Okay. And last but not least, the man that decided to walk out of Mass Effect to be here, the Good Shepherd.
What's going on, good people? It's the Good Shepherd. I'm here to speak about one of my favorite series of all times, Legend of Zelda. Hopefully y'all enjoy. Let's do this.
Man, you started off real intense there. It was nice and low, and then it built all the way up. That was perfect. But yeah, we're gonna go over. We got to come up with a stable base for this. So my first thing is we've talked about this a little bit. My thing is we have to figure out where we want this in the timeline because I just thought about something. Along the timeline, the Zoras change, so we got to think of which Zoras we want. Do we want the ones that kind of look like people, or do we want the green fish-looking ones?
I would take the ones that look like the flying bird type.
He's
I
talking
think
about
those.
But you know that's an alternate reality, right? You know that's a spin-off from the main series.
Well, it
The
depends
whole-
on where
the
you
whole
look
way-
at it.
The whole Wind
Okay.
Waker thing is more like an alternate reality kind of deal, to be honest
No,
with
but
you.
I'm thinking of OOT as opposed to A Link to the Past. That's how I'm looking at it, because you got the blue human-like Zoras, or you got the green fishy ones.
Now I got what you're saying. I was referring to what Game said.
Oh, you're talking about the bird people. They
Yeah.
they couldn't be technically Zoras.
No, they can because
There were Zoras originally.
yeah,
If you
because
follow
the sage even says it too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I probably
Yeah.
didn't.
The
mention that.
Zoras became the bird people in the
Okay,
Wind
well,
Waker
no,
series.
I don't want the bird people unless they're like separated. Actually, that would make sense. They could be an evolution of the Zoras and be at the same time,
Pretty
along
much.
with the Zoras.
Mm-hmm.
They're more or less an
Yeah, they
evolution.
could be there. Yeah. Well, you got two. At that point, you got two separate evolutions, and one doesn't really look like an evolution; looks like a devolution.
Well, if you think about it, this is where I get somewhat nerdy, and I'm sure Jamie could back me up on this a little bit, is that we all were originally fish people.
I know.
So it is possible. I just
Yeah.
have to throw that out there.
But I'm just saying the way it looks like they went from people to fish rather than fish to people.
True. Yeah, that
Okay.
is weird.
Okay, well we'll go with the vote on this then. Do we want blue Zoras or green? Because we know the blue ones look like people and the green ones look like fish.
How about aquamarine? Blue and green.
Then it's like well, I guess we can go with that. We're gonna have some weird looking people.
Why not?
Weird looking Zoras.
It's a video game.
Or
Shit. Sorry.
you know what? It's fine. No, it could probably have both, but I mean, it just makes more sense to have one. That way, you have a unified look for everything. Or make it like the green, the fish look is like a transformation.
I'm gonna go with blue.
You know what? That's what we'll go. You know what? That's what we'll go with. The fish form is yeah. The blue is the base form, and the fish form can be a temporary transformation.
There you go.
All right.
Make it a gameplay establishment. See, we're already going somewhere with this. See, this is why I should have the name the Gaming Idea Guru.
You're so humble.
I might change my channel to that. Oh, come on. Hey, don't be mad at me because you inflated my ego before.
Well, I gotta give you props where it's deserved. I mean, if you give good stuff, I gotta give you props. If you say stupid stuff, I'm gonna dog you. I'm sorry. That's my personality.
Well, I expect that, but so far I'm 100% so far. No, I can't say that.
You just made a big mistake by saying that, because now I'm gonna go out of my way.
No, see, I just thought about something I screwed up on.
I'm gonna go out of my way to prove you wrong.
I thought about something I screwed up on as far as my game ideas, and I'm not going to say it here because it's another topic that we could talk about another time. But
no, I'm gonna look at all your videos just because you said
he's going to find it too. I know he's going to find it.
Well, at least Jamie didn't say anything. He's worse than me.
But Jamie probably already knows. I think Jamie was there for my gaffe that I just thought of and remembered.
Good point.
So he probably already knows what I'm talking about. But I'm going to leave that alone. Okay. So we established our Zoras, which would put the timeline slightly before OOT, I think, or no, you know what? Not before OOT. It would probably be after Majora's Mask, but before Twilight Princess. That would probably be about where it would fit as far as the overall story. So, now, the types of characters. Obviously, I said Zoras, and we know they're there. What's the name of the bird people? I forgot. And the bad thing is, I was recently playing Wind Waker.
The Rito. They're the evolved version of Zoras, the Rito.
Yeah. And the bad thing is, I recently played the Wind Waker, and I completely forgot.
Shame on you. Then shake yourself immediately.
The Gerudo should also be selectable as a class of characters because they're more ninja-esque. Like the way I'm thinking of them, they're kind of like ninja and warrior types.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I would want them to be in the game. Also, I would definitely want the dang it.
Goras?
Well, yeah, obviously Goron. The Gorons.
Goron. Sorry, I said Goron.
You said Goras.
My fault.
Mixing races.
Yeah. I messed up. I admit that.
It's okay. No, but I'm thinking of the Sheik people.
Well, the Sheik falls under not Hylian. No, they are Hylian.
They're Hylian, but they're a different class. It was explained in OOT. I just can't remember. But people know what I'm talking about.
By class or race, or you have to specify?
Well, okay. We'll do it based on race is the primary, and then class is secondary.
Okay, so then you could have a race with multiple. Okay, cool. Let's keep it moving.
That way it makes sense because there's warrior type Zoras, and then there are the more
that actually works because if you do it that
types.
way, you can actually pull back in the Rito into that.
Yes, actually, yeah, that would make more sense to do it that way. And then
why not?
Then all three Zora types can be in there. You're right.
Because MMOs is about variety anyway.
You're right. You're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right, and that is right. But
I am the good shepherd. I'm good.
Yes, you are, sir. You are good at what you do.
Work.
Thank you for coming from Mass Effect to be here.
Well, you know, we gotta bring you
Oh man.
guys where it needs to be at.
Oh man. Man, I'm sitting here goofing. It's just because this is fun to think about. But definitely gonna have Hylian. So, like you say, Hylian. Does that put the Kakari in the Hylian now?
Kokiri are well, they're
They,
Hylian, but they're
I
kind
think
of
they're
like
not necessarily the same though.
yeah,
They're
they're kind of
similar.
subspecies. They're like Hylian, but they're not.
Yeah, they're similar, but they're not exactly the same.
Yeah,
So they would have to be their own race to
yeah, we're gonna have to.
themselves.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give
Okay,
them.
first let's get the races down. We got Hylian, Goron, Zora, Kokiri, um, Gerudo,
Okay.
and there's another one. There's another one. I know there is. I just can't think of it. Hmm. What is the other one? Or is that the five?
No, you're
No, I'm
right.
thinking of the Minish people. I think.
There's subspecies, but they're all that. Those are the main races.
Yeah, I think those are that might be it. I was just I'm
That's like the
overthinking.
yeah. That's like the whole thing about white, Spanish, black, and Asian. Those are the four main races, and everything else is variations of such.
Yeah. Well, it's five, but
Where's the
if we're
fifth one?
if we're
What's the
separating
fifth
the
one?
Kokiri from the Hylian,
Oh yeah, good point.
yeah.
Okay.
So that makes it five. Okay, okay. I think that's good. Okay, so all of the classes for Hylian. Let's go with that.
All right. Cool. You guys good with that too?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to give the floor to whoever wants to take it first, because it's going to take me a while to think before I can give a good answer. So, whoever wants to jump out first. Because if you don't pick, I'm going to pick, and that's not going to be pretty.
Must reach gamepad.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my PlayStation 3 off because I'm not doing anything with it anyway. Oh, sorry. I'm speaking out loud. Go ahead, Jamie.
Well, I'm kind of trying to think of what classes you could possibly have in, a Zelda universe, because you can't just go with standard classes like, Paladin, Knight, Archer,
Well,
Hunter,
technically you
whatever.
could, because of the basically based on Skyward Sword, the whole night ship thing. You kind of could do it.
Technically, Hylian could fall into all those classes.
It
Because
could
if you
be
look at it,
knight,
Hylian
sorcerer.
is they're basically humans with elf characteristics.
Yeah, they can be knights, sorcerers, healers type, like medic types. I
Hmm.
mean, you got a lot of things that Hylians can do. They're more like the basic though, so they would have to have like some kind of strongly rooted classes. So
Right.
yeah, knight and sorcerer would definitely be the first two. There has to be at
Okay.
least a third that would fit with them, which I don't want to say medic because it doesn't feel right for the Legend of Zelda. So
Yeah.
it would be I don't want to say shaman
Sage.
either.
Let's go
Yes, sage.
Sage.
You're right. Sage. Sage works. Sage does work. Sage works. Okay, so we have knight, sorcerer, and sage. You have your fighter, your magician, basically, and your healer. Okay, that works for
Right.
those.
There you go.
Now, oh, and I think it's Inca. That's what it was.
Inca.
The Inca people
No.
for the for
Inca.
the
No,
for the
that's the
sheik.
whole Sheik thing. That's the whole Sheik thing.
Oh.
They're still
Ah,
Hylian, technically.
yeah, but that would be like their form of a ninja class.
If you want to do a subcategory, that's fine. But they're still Hylians.
No, I'm not meaning for race. I was talking about for class.
Okay, then yeah, go with that. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. You're right. You're right.
that's where I was going.
My
I'm
fault.
sorry. I didn't mean to see it's because I threw all that confusing mumbo jumbo out first. That's why. Okay, so we got our warrior, magician, and healer and ninja. That will be 4 classes for Hylian.
All
I mean,
right.
if I can think of something else, we'll throw it in later. But next we'll go with Goron. Who wants to take the bat first?
Well,
Goron.
obviously we have some sort of a tank.
Yeah, exactly. Goron.
Yeah.
They're
So you
bulky.
would want like a juggernaut then.
Yeah.
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 Juggernaut.
Heavily
Um,
offensive and heavily defensive. That's
so
the
that would be,
guaranteed.
we'll call that one the Juggergoron. I know it sounds funny, but it's appropriate. Um, hmm,
But they'll have to be ridiculously slow just to make it fair.
yeah.
They're really
Then
powerful, strong defense, but they're slow as all hell.
I guess another one would be like a speedy Goron because they are kind of fast when they're balled up rolling.
That's
If they're
true. They are
like you get a
smaller
good,
types.
you get like a smaller one who's kind of fast. I gotta think of a
Relatively
name for that.
okay. Relatively high offense, weak defense, decent speed.
Yeah.
You can't give them too fast because at the end of the day they're still Gorons.
Well, I mean, once they're rolled up, because that'd be like their specialty,
Well,
just to
yeah,
roll into a ball and speed along.
but yeah,
Thinking
just to
about
make it.
Majora's Mask, that's
Well,
all.
yeah, but you don't want to make them OP.
Well,
So
no, no,
you can
no, definitely
make
not.
them faster, but you can't make them too fast.
That's what I'm trying to think of. And then we got him sitting here playing freaking Nintendo Land on us.
The thing. Oh, sorry about that.
I know.
But
That's
the
why
thing
I
is,
turned my Wii U back
but
on because
it,
I'm like, oh,
but it,
I'm gonna put Nintendo Land too. Damn it.
hey,
but
but the thing is, I'm
it
playing Zelda,
feels
so I
right
can get
though.
some
He's playing the
ideas.
Zelda one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get some ideas because while I play.
Yeah.
And I'm in the Goron place, so I would say they would have more like, yeah, they would be more like Juggernauts, but they wouldn't be as fast. That's one thing. You can't make them fast.
Well, that's why I
Exactly.
said
It
Juggernaut
wouldn't be
class would be
fair.
the slow, powerful type,
Yeah,
like the tank, and
you
then
just
we'd
can't
have
make
like the
them.
speedball type that would ball up and roll,
Uh-huh.
which wouldn't be super fast, but fast enough that it's offsetting to the Juggernaut.
Yep. I
Hell,
agree
you could
with
give
that.
them
That's
average
fine.
speed at that point in comparison to the Juggernaut, and they'd look like they're super fast.
Exactly. That's actually what
Um,
I intended when you said that. So
yeah.
that's perfect.
They would move like with a normal speed when they're walking, but like when they ball up, that's where they make their name. I
Exactly.
just gotta think of a name for it, which is I don't want to call it speedball because it just sounds funny.
So if you just say Assault and Juggernaut. Assault's the fast type, Juggernaut's is the slower, more powerful type.
You
We
know what?
could
I
come up
think
with
we could go
something
with
better,
that.
but yeah.
We could go with that at least as a temporary placeholder.
Exactly. We'll come up with something better, but for now,
Does there really have to be a third type of Goron? Because I don't remember really seeing them work with magic a whole lot.
no, there's no need because
So
we gotta be realistic about it.
it's got
People
to
are too
fit
spoiled.
within.
They
It's
gotta
got to
be
fit within the
the lore.
universe of Zelda anyway.
Yep.
So well, I think that works out then. So next would be Zora, which we have. There's no necessary separation from the humanoid and the fish type of Zora,
No, it could be
unless we just
anything with
leave it.
Zora.
Unless we just leave it humanoid Zora, and like I said, that they have that transformation as like a battle type thing, where it can beef up their stats temporarily.
Honestly, with Zora, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. They're like humans in Final Fantasy. They can be anything. You can kind of customize it based. Like you can give them a total like amount of points, and you can put it where you want it to go.
Hmm.
They could be as fast or as powerful as you want, but they can't be all powerful, all fast.
Well, obviously that would just break the
Exactly.
game.
That's what I'm
But
saying. So they can be anything. I mean, unless you want to just be specifically, okay, Zora will always be faster than normal. They won't be
I'd
the
say they
fastest, but
probably.
they'll automatically be
I
fast.
would say they would probably have a greater speed than most outside of the Gyarados, because I'm pretty sure they would probably be the fastest overall.
Okay, yeah, Gyarados would be the fastest, and if you want to go magic-wise, then the Kokiro would be the most powerful magic-wise.
Well, that was where my thinking was, but I'm trying to do one at a time.
Sorry. My fault.
No, you were thinking the same way I am, though, so it's not a big deal. Um, I don't know if we should separate the blue and the green Zoras, or if we should just leave them as one and just make a transformation thing just for like a temporary battle thing, which might be the better way to go. That way, well, no, because then it just, you know what? Here's what I'll do. And I was just thinking about it. Their warrior type could be the more fish-like people, because they actually do look like they might be stronger and more durable. And then have, and this might sound a little funny, but I'm basing this off of Majora's Mask, have a musician type, which looks like the blue more human Zoras, and have sound as their main form of attack.
Yeah, that would be
Sound
nice.
You know
and
what?
magic.
That actually would work.
That reminds me of in Monster Hunter. You know how you have the weapon with sound, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that would actually do nice.
And then we move on to the bird people, which I keep forgetting their names. I apologize for that. It's just that it keeps slipping.
You haven't seen To Love Ru?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Come on. Alright then. It's the same name as the dude, Rito.
I just keep forgetting it. Rito. I gotta say it enough times to remember it. But
Just think perverted, you'll get it.
no, I'm not doing that.
Being silly, but anyways.
But they could be. I'd say they would be more versatile type. They probably have like the middle tier stats between the two, and with the ability to take flight for short periods of time rather than being waterbound, whereas the other Zoras would be, where they would take the advantage. That actually could work out pretty well.
The glad ability can work out if done correctly. Okay.
Yeah. I would say they're probably. I guess they would be considered the more ninja-esque of the Zora because they kind of have that kind of quality. Especially you see most of them folding their damn arms up and like all serious.
Relatively high speed, and they can glide.
Yeah, that would work out pretty good. So we've covered Hylian, Goron, Zora, and so next would be Kokiri. So I will give this to Gamer Man to start with.
Kokiri, what are they again? Because I really have not heard their names in some
Those are
time.
the ones that live in the forest. Legend.
Wow, I'm such an idiot. Let's see. The Kokiri would be more like I think they would be more like the healer magic type. Cause you know, I really don't see them going around with like swords or anything. So, I mean, I would see it as like a magic healing type. That much. You guys get me?
We got you. We're listening.
Yeah. I'd basically take it like that.
This is the point where everybody else ships in.
What
You got the poor kid sweating like, oh my God.
I'm just like, what's going on?
What I would personally think about the Kokiri is that they would have to have a music-based class, without a doubt. 'Cause, I mean, to me,
Like
they
a
seem,
bird.
yeah,
Well-
they seem like the most music-based race out of all of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, just the whole fact with Sarah and Ocarina is enough to say, yeah, they need it.
Right, and they would have a race-specific class called Skull Kid, where they would, because I mean there are different types of Skull Kids throughout the Zelda universe, so that could be kind of their own different class, which might be some sort of a thief warrior combination, something in between.
Or yeah, thief warrior or a thief magician type.
Yeah, that's true.
Which that
So
works out.
Bard and Thief Warrior. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Contrast.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good thought there. I mean, you don't find that in a whole lot of games, to be honest.
Mm.
And to have somebody that can pick your pocket and beat the hell out of you is kind of. Oh man, I mean, that actually works out well. I mean, there's only a few games that have done that, and Assassin's Creed is one of them. So.
It started off great. I'll leave it at that.
But so music type class, and then you have the Skull Kid class, which would kind of be the thieving type with either it could be a warrior or a magical type, or it might be just a combination of the three. You know what? That might actually
perfect. Because if you think
But
about
they would
it,
have to
a good
have.
thief. Go ahead.
they would have to have kind of low stats to have all that potential.
Of course.
Yeah, actually, that would make it better because mostly you have those like, how could I say, those classes where they're good at one thing and then like they're horrible with like health and defense.
Yeah,
So I
and
mean that would
they're
be
good
better.
at many things, so they would have to have a lot of. It would take more work to build the
Yeah,
Skull Kid up.
it's just like if you're
Exactly.
good with like magical types, you're bad with your defense and stuff. So basically, that would actually work with the Skull Kids
Yeah,
and the friggin' forgot their names. I was gonna call them little elves. But
Kokiri.
yeah,
Kokiri.
Kokiri. All right, Kokiri.
Yeah,
But yeah,
they would have to be kind of fast though to offset that weakness. But with me
Yeah.
being a thief, so yeah, you'd have to be.
It falls under basically their class is gonna be either one of two. They're either gonna be bards or they're gonna be thieves.
Yeah.
It's all about
Well, I
because
mean, I
the
think Kokiri
bards, the
also
bard.
have. I think Kokiri also have like a fighter type.
Well, exactly. Well, that's where the thief comes in. They have a bit of a brawler kind of
Mm.
stealth speed. Because you have to think about it. A good thief is almost the same as a bard. Because you need the gift of gab. You got to be able to say
Oh
what you
yeah.
need to say based on the situation.
You
It's all about
basically need to be
adaptability.
able. Basically, need to be able to Captain Jack Sparrow everybody.
Exactly.
So yeah,
See, you get
that
it,
works.
You get it, Andre.
That works. You have to be able to talk in loops in a way that you're
Yeah.
not lying, but you can confuse the hell out of people.
You gotta drop that hustle.
That's basically
Like,
it.
if we can't steal it from you physically, we'll get you to give it to me and thank me for giving it to me.
Oh man, that would actually be pretty cool. Now that I think about it.
Like, thank
So
you
yeah.
so much for giving me all of your treasure. And you are lucky and good enough to give me
You
all
are
of that.
lucky that I am taking the curse of this treasure off of your hands.
Exactly. See? Better. There you go.
Oh man. So we've done Helion, Goron, Zora, Kokori, last is Garuda. I mean, so there's a super basic to understand. There would be them. You would have to have a shaman type class
They're
for them.
more, yeah, they're more of a more physical version of cooking.
Yeah,
They're fast, they're powerful, they're stout. They're thieves on steroids, basically.
yeah. You have to have their shaman class, which would sort of be like a warrior mage type.
Yep, exactly. Kind of like a
Then
sage warrior.
yeah, then have their more stealthy type class because they are very good with stealth
Yep.
and they have excellent agility. So a name for that though,
They're
a
the
perfect
closest thing.
fitting name.
They're the
Um,
closest thing to ninja outside of the Sheik.
yeah, I mean 'cause that I could see a war going on with those, but um, gotta just think of a good name for it though, and that's the problem is naming it. Coming up with the idea and the stats and stuff is not the hard part. The naming is the hard part because
Call them
if you don't have
Shadow
a
Walkers. We just gotta figure out what the hell your
dude,
version of the Shadow Walker
thank
is
you.
named.
That actually fits perfectly.
oh, they could be like the evil type, and be with like Ganon's forces like that. Like have
Nah,
it.
Ganon is a special case.
No, but do you want it to have like? Would you like it
If
if it
you
was
want to
like
have like a warlord type of Garuda, which would be what Ganon was,
You have to
which
remember, the Gerudo aren't bad. They're just
no, they
adapted
just
to the
spawned something
situation.
bad from. They just spawned something bad that one time.
Warlord,
It's a
Warlord could
misconception.
be Warlord could be the Gerudo's race specific class.
Yeah, which
You know-
would be like the ultimate type of character like Ganon was.
Right, focusing on DPS, they could probably do tank, but they would probably be the best DPS in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, that could work. That could work.
So you have Shaman, Shadow Walker, and Warlord. I'm thinking though, there's something missing. There has to be one other one. Because they're kind of multifaceted and we didn't really get to see a whole lot about them. So that's why I feel like there's something missing. But I mean,
Which is
those
why
three
I
fit
want to
well.
make a game starting off with them being in the Garuda world because the dual blade and a bunch of other stuff would be pure awesome. But that's a completely different conversation. Sorry.
It's all right. Look, we'll save that for another time.
Yeah. Because me and Twilight got it in with that conversation. I'm disappointed he's not here.
Oh man, he'll show up for another one. If he doesn't pop up in this one, he'll show up for another one. So we're talking about you. You better show up.
Show up, Twilight, damn it.
Oh man. So yeah, we did kind of give out the basics for all of the races and class types. I mean, there could be subcategories based on each one, but I'm not going to dive into that because that's something that's going to be way more complicated.
Yeah, that's going to take way too long. We're starting off with the basics.
Right now is just getting the basics out the way, and I was about to say you're not doing what I think you're doing, but he isn't doing it. Yeah, you gonna go to the Legend of Zelda Zone?
Yes, I'm
I
good.
knew. I had a feeling he was good. Oh man, once we get him on something, he is like a rabid pit bull on it. He just gotta do it. No,
We need to get sedatives. He's having some serious ADD, ADHD moment tonight.
Oh man, but
I'm the hyper one, and he's making me seem kind of calm.
oh man, when he fangasms, it's amazing. It's just like,
no, when I fangasm over something, I mean, they show that Zelda this year. Dang, you're gonna see a fangasm.
Well,
You're gonna
I
see
mean,
a
but-
fangasm.
honestly, at that point, I think anybody below the age of 40 is gonna go nuts.
Oh man.
heck, even some over the age of 40 are
Oh
going
no,
to go
no, no,
nuts.
no! I'm saying 40 is a guaranteed. 40.
Oh, okay.
It varies.
Yeah, you're right. But back onto the topic.
Mhm.
Story. We have to come up with a story element that kind of works. There's something that can be worked around and built upon. So we have to have a
See-
basic story element.
See, this is where things could go crazy. This is my personal opinion. You guys can say otherwise. I think. See, this is the problem because I think Hyrule Warriors pertain to the Hylian War, and it would be kind of contradictory to do that same timeline.
Yeah, that's why I don't really want to do that. I want it to be something where there's a possible conflict, but not something that you'd say every character in the game necessarily knows about, like some sort of like something behind the scenes that most wouldn't catch on to.
Exactly.
Like the general populace of Hyrule wouldn't really understand what was happening, so you could more or less walk around different towns in the game and talk
Kind
to
of
people.
similar. Yep, kind of like the Cold War, kind of sorta.
Yeah,
There's
So
a
you
major
just-
war going on, but not quite everybody gets it.
yeah. And a lot of people just don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like your life is in
Like
danger,
the
but you
Third
don't
World
know.
War.
Your
World War
life is
III's
in
already
danger.
happening. Sorry. Conspiracy theory moment.
Don't do it. Don't do it here yet. Not. Why'd I say yet?
You set yourself up.
Oh man. But what I really say is like, yeah, there's a massive threat, like a behind the scenes thing, sort of like the situation was in Majora's Mask, where all those people were looking at the moon, didn't think anything was gonna happen. It's like, I'm sorry, I got an evil faced moon falling over top of me, looking at
It's
me.
like
Looking at
something's
me.
not right. The
I'm
moon is
like,
not
"Please."
supposed to look at us like that. The moon's not supposed to look at us at all.
I've been that one person like, what the hell? Like, do you see that? It's looking at us.
Yeah, I
But
don't
then
think a
again-
moon's supposed to smile like that.
Like,
Then again, their moon
doesn't
might have
have
always looked at them
eyes.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're so normal to it.
but it was bigger. It was huge.
Yeah,
It was descending.
You did not. You can't miss that. You have to be you have to be blind, honestly, not to notice.
Like that carpenter that just said, "Oh, nothing's gonna happen to the world." Like,
Yeah, okay.
Well, you be the guy
See-
standing there, do nothing.
That's further proof that people say otherwise. Drugs do exist in the gaming world.
Yeah, but it's
cannot
just
be-
subtle.
You cannot be not high to not. You know what I'm saying? It's like really.
Paraphernalia does exist in The Legend of Zelda. Do not let people tell you otherwise. What
Like,
do you
yeah,
think drink links to? I mean, drink links. Link
I'm not
drinks.
like, let me get another shot of that green potion.
Like that's alcohol. You get a green potion, you can see mystical things. That's alcohol to me.
Like, yeah, I'm hurt, but I don't feel it anymore. So,
Oh man, like my man just ingested a bottle of I'm not even gonna name it.
yeah,
I'm gonna stop right there.
let's stop. We're getting a little too crazy.
Okay,
Let's
but
try to keep it somewhat PG-13.
okay. Story wise, what do you guys think would fit decently well outside of what I just said? What would be the main threat? It couldn't necessarily be Ganon
Like,
because
let's say a new kind of kingdom.
let's
How
say
about
maybe
that?
maybe something similar to the situation with A Link Between Worlds. How
Mm,
Hilda was basically
yeah,
trying to take the Triforce, but not necessarily somebody trying to take the Triforce.
well, honestly, you don't even need to go that far. You have to remember, at the end of the day, people in general will conflict. People want territory. So, I mean, you don't necessarily need to have like this all, because we don't need Link. We don't need the Master Sword. We don't need. I mean, as much as a lot of people would love to play with it, to
No,
do a
because
good
that
MMO, we need outside of Link. So
yeah, it
we don't
has to be outside
necessarily
of
need
Link.
Ganondorf. We don't need. I mean, they could throw him in there. We don't need Ganondorf. We don't need Link. We don't need Zelda.
I could say it this way: the way the good and bad factions can be split up. You could have Link, Zelda, and Ganon in the game as NPCs,
Exactly.
but not playable. You can always build a character that's similar to them, which would be fine,
Yeah,
but
nothing
they
wrong with that.
cannot be
They're not
playable.
technical. Yeah, they're not tech. Yeah, exactly. That's I said it badly, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
The
they're
whole
in
the
the
whole
game,
concept.
but they're not the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. The game is all about there's a conflict and we need to resolve it.
There
And
could be
it doesn't involve the Triforce directly.
yeah.
They are involved, but it's not directly.
I mean, it could be like a situation of having Ganon and Vati teaming up, just to throw them together.
I guess we could do it that way too. I mean, technically, you could have an all-out Triforce conflict, and we're just backup, just
Yeah,
to
just
see
like
how we can be
the soldiers
involved.
assistant. And in the beginning of the game, not in the beginning of the game, like you progress to learn your skills, like learn your base set of skills for your character, race, and class, and
Sonic is
then
not that
from
strong. The Triforce would have dropped him on the floor. I had to say it. The Triforce is way too goddamn big for him to hold it that easily. I just had to say that.
man, you derailed the heck out of me.
I'm sorry. I had an OCD
uh,
moment.
but let's put it this way, like I said, you get your base level set of skills, and then you'd have to pick which side you more favor, meaning that there can be a middle ground for people who might want to align themselves bad but do good things in the opposite. Just sort of like you could play your characters like a spy type,
Yeah.
in a sense, where you have like enough of a good balance that you can enter certain areas, but you can have covert reasons for being there,
Mm.
which actually is a good way to play it because, like you said, anything could be going on, and you don't necessarily know who's with you, which would actually make it
Mhm.
a really good gameplay, a really good way to play the game. Make people be thinking, well, we're working together, but you don't know if your partner is necessarily a dark
Really working
Hylian
with you.
or a light Hylian, for example.
Yeah, that makes it interesting.
I mean,
The
they
fact
can be
that you
working
can
with
be
you,
betrayed
yeah,
is awesome.
and it would play into like story-based missions where your character has a certain alignment, but they favor the opposite side.
Trolling for
Which,
the win. Sorry.
I mean, that would basically be a great way to go, and honestly, it would make it so much more fun because then trolling in that case is encouraged for people who want to do it, and it's not frowned upon. Like your mission would be to infiltrate the the Helian castle and get next to the king and try to assassinate him. Wouldn't let you necessarily do it
Okay.
unless it was like some point later in the game. But
Okay, you and Quan aren't allowed to play.
I mean,
Well, actually,
but
no. You could do it. I just gotta record it and laugh my ass off afterwards.
I was just thinking, it's just I would want the game to be really dynamic in a way that well, look, okay, I align myself with Ganon's forces, but I can do all of these good things to build up a good reputation. And people will say, well, he's doing this, we can bring him along. At that point, you could either betray Ganon or work as a double spy.
Hmm.
Or the opposite, say Link is an established warrior of Hyrule and he has, at this point in time, proven himself and sort of leads the Hylian army. But I would see Link couldn't have like a normal voice though. It would all have to be text based. None of them would have normal voices because I wouldn't want to ruin the image for anybody.
We could
So
do
it'd all be
Tomodachi lifestyle.
No, that would
Oh my god!
that would kill people's.
I have said
That
no,
would
and I'm
completely kill
talking.
experience for people. But you guys see where I'm going with that. At
Yeah, I
least,
feel you.
like your alignment and your faction decides what your missions are. So that would open up so much replayability.
I agree.
And there definitely would have to be good and bad factions within each race. So it would kind of be like, we all know who's who, or at least the main ones that of the who's who in these factions and who's the leaders of them and everything like that. And they definitely, I mean, Nintendo could have a field day with this if they went with that. And it's not like they couldn't do it. Gosh, I know they could do it. So I think that's as far as I can get is with story without like actually developing a full blown story for the game. So let's think of items. I'm not going to worry about specifying items to certain classes at this point in time because, like I said, it's just me running through things. So I'll give everybody a chance to name like a few items that they would want to see and give their reasons as to why, and give some possible uses for them, or even make up an item. I really don't care, but because that actually would be more creative. And we could get some more ideas flowing. Because if somebody comes up with something really good, I'm going to find a way to top it. I'm not BS. I will find a way to top it, and if I can't, I will let you know.
Well, the default's automatically all the Legend of Zelda items, regardless. So we're just gonna build from there.
Okay, well then, yeah, we'll definitely default that the original items, with the exception of the Master Sword and the Forest Sword, those types of things.
Of course, yeah, you can't have that.
All of Link specific items outside of
You mean
like
Zelda?
Hylian Shield and stuff. Oh man,
I can't
That
believe to this day people are still. Oh my god. I'm go front. I stepped up once a couple of podcasts ago, but I was just.
That was once though. That was an accident. That's not you actually thinking it.
No. It was a straight up slip up. I knew exactly who Link is, but
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing how people still don't get it to this day.
Yeah.
It's like people calling Frankenstein and the monster
Calling the monster
the same thing.
Frankenstein?
No, the monster is
I
the
know.
monster is the monster, and Dr. Frankenstein's Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, people still miss that, but
I just,
yep. But
I
yeah,
just
no
had to
Link
use an
specific
example. I
items.
know I didn't
Nothing.
post on Google.
I know. Like, but no Link specific items. No Triforce for any of the player characters. None of them get it.
All right,
No,
I got a good one.
couldn't do that. Okay, come on. Lay it on
Yeah,
us.
go for it.
A pot. You
There
can
are
literally
pots all throughout the Legend of Zelda universe. You can pick it up and throw it at someone.
no,
Come
but you
on,
can
man.
literally take the pots with you, make them and upgrade them.
Infinite
And
pots. Why not?
yeah,
You
Just
know
for the
what?
sameness of
You
it.
know what? You just made me think of an item that actually used a pot. A
Just
pot bomb.
smash it. Yeah, just smash it and it
A
explodes.
disguised bomb in the pot.
Yeah,
One that you
smash the
put
pot and it
down and is
explodes.
pressure sensitive. No, not just that. One that you can
Oh,
put
they
down
pick
as a
it up and
trap for
blows.
somebody who might run and grab one and try to attack you with it. And it blows up on them when they pick it up.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's perfect for the Legend of Zelda world too. Because you're like, oh, a
I
pot. Let's pick it up and see what's there.
boom.
Boom.
Oh man, that would tick
That's
some
awesome.
people off.
That is the perfect troll item.
See, if he wouldn't have said that, I wouldn't have thought about it. And I told you, I would one up it, didn't I?
Well, like I said, anybody who knows you by now, you love trolling, so that's like a guarantee.
I like trolling, but I like it in a fun context.
Well, I'm not saying. See, that's the difference. People don't understand. Trolling is not. You're not supposed to be an asshole. It's more for amusement purposes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be funny.
Some people go too far. Trolling is supposed to make people laugh. See,
Yes.
keyword is it's supposed to make multiple people laugh. If you're the only one laughing, you did it wrong.
Yep.
A good troll will make multiple people laugh at what you did. If you're not a good troll, 99% of people who see that joke is gonna look at you like,
Ugh.
Remember, the Vita still needs your help.
That's
oh
wrong.
my god! Yo, I showed it to my girl and she was laughing.
to help.
She's
Donate
not even
5
into video
cents.
games. She's like,
Oh
"Sir?
man, you just had to
Just
say
5
that.
cents."
Donate 5 cents a day to help these poor beasts, please.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Doing this Jungle Hunter voice.
Yeah, I love that Australian accent. I'm gonna lie to you. I've been debating to get a Vita more and more.
I had it for a couple of days, and I was just like, nah.
Wait, you flip flop?
Hey,
No. There's a
we're speaking
difference.
Zelda, not Vita.
There's no.
Oh
Hey,
man,
they have the same number of syllables.
but Zelda
It
is
oh,
bigger.
you know.
Zelda is bigger and better.
This is true.
All right, okay. I'm not laughing at Sony because I think it's a bad thing that the Vita is about to be outsold by the PS4. Just saying that. 'Cause
It's
the
already
Vita should sell very, very well, but it's not. So that's not my fault. That's Sony's fault.
further proof, specs and everything.
But
just-
let's get back to the
saying.
Zelda talk before we run off on a tangent somewhere else, and
Good
I
point,
can't get this back.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so new item, bomb pots.
Yeah.
Another new item because I
Blue
haven't
shell.
seen it in the Legend of Zelda game.
Blue shell.
That could be put in the game as
a
as an
reference.
Easter egg item.
Yeah.
Well, there's a conspiracy theory that all Nintendo games are in the same universe. I'm just saying.
It's a working conspiracy theory, but I don't think it really fits for everybody.
Well, I don't agree with it. I'm just being a smartass.
I know, but a blue shell could be done in there, but we'd have to have a good reason to put it in there as an Easter egg.
Honestly,
So,
Blue Cell, no, we don't need it in that game.
why you don't want to see a group of people get blown up?
As much as I love Blue Shell,
But
it's
no,
just kind of redundant in this case.
I had thought of something like a bomb arrow.
Okay, that works.
Just it doesn't look like a big bomb on the end of an arrow. That's would look like a normal arrow, but it would just be highly explosive.
We put like a little dynamite stick to it. Boom. Why not?
Or just have the head of the arrow be the bomb. Just have it be shaped like an arrowhead.
Okay, that works. Yeah, why not?
A little blue arrowhead
A
that blows
small
up.
explosive. Yep.
Yeah. And that will work out pretty well.
We should have a subduing device, like something that like wraps them up in chains or
You know what?
tangle them up of some way.
I mean, the hook shot could kind of be used for that, though.
Mm,
It could
yes,
kind of be
but
useful.
no. We want something that can temporarily. I mean, the hook shot does it kind of, but we want something that temporarily immobilizes an opponent, just to make
Oh,
things interesting.
you want something that's going to, huh?
Entangle someone. It's
I
not
was
just
trying to
pull them
think of
in, just
something.
try to keep them
I was,
temporarily immobile.
I'm trying to think of something with the Deku plants.
Ooh, yeah, the seed just randomly sprouts out and wraps
Yeah,
around them
like
like
Deku
a
seed trap,
vine.
Deku
Well, yeah,
seed vine trap.
yeah, why not?
That
Just
would
throw the
work.
deco seed, and if the person gets close to it, the vines automatically wrap up around them, and for a few
Two uses.
seconds, they gotta
Two
fight.
uses.
Yeah, they gotta fight themselves out of it, otherwise they're stuck.
Two uses to it. You can either plant it as a trap, or you can throw it and hit somebody with it.
Why not? Yeah,
I mean, Batman does it all the time.
yeah, batarang in the cords. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that working. That will work out pretty well. Um, shoot, anybody else have any other ones? I'm thinking I'm going to come up with something really good. I'm trying to think of like just one item that everybody's going to like. I mean, I've named a couple small. I named a small one, and I improved upon Games' idea. So, uh,
Well, mm,
and you came up with a good one that I just threw a name to. So, I'm because it would have to be a lot of different items in this game because of how many different people would be available to play it.
yeah,
I
should at
wouldn't
least.
want to. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying there should at least be one or two items per class, and then a few general items.
I
That's just
think all that we just talked about though more or less fits the general items.
yeah.
I wonder though, what can we use that's
I'm
hmm.
trying to think what could we do for specific classes because that's you have to think of something really good that really fits only those specific character types. And I mean, the only thing I can think of along that would be just specific weapons, and I'm not really trying to work on that because that takes a long time. And I appreciate the people that put together games that utilize that because there's no way in the world that is a simple task. No,
DLC Captain America shield. Yes.
no.
Murasai baka desu.
Why'd you call him stupid?
Bakajan.
Gomenasai.
Komenasai.
Why are you saying thank you?
Gomenasai means I am sorry.
Oh crap! You know, I was getting. You
Arigato.
know, I was thinking it
Arigato means
backwards.
thank you.
I was thinking it backwards. See, I'm rusty on Japanese.
Daijobu.
Oh man.
That
Well,
means
let's
it's
see. We
alright.
could
It's
use
okay.
the what's it called? What's that thing called? The you know where he has that thing? It's like a zip line almost.
That's the hook
What's it
shot.
called? The hook shot. There we go. And we can put with, let's say, we could put because I know I was thinking about this.
Dororo. Steal but multiple people at the same time. A
Like how
split shot.
about the hook shot would like grab people and then put them
It
towards
does
you, and then
that.
no,
Really?
no, no, like oh no, but the thing is, I'm thinking like a grab slash, like you know, because you
You're
know when
thinking of like
you
a grapple type weapon that actually damages people.
yeah yeah, it's just like it gets them, grabs them, and then you slash like that,
Oh, so like a
like
grapple and claw type thing.
yeah.
Okay, and then you do a
That would
variation.
be a variation hook shot. That'd be like an upgrade type thing.
Mm.
And then I guess the stealing type would be for the Garudos, where they actually steal the item, but that's also
But
built in.
for Skull Kid, that would actually work out pretty well to just have like a mini hook shot that kind of like pickpockets.
Exactly.
Oh,
That wouldn't be
that
a
one.
Automatic grabs.
Okay, we got a class specific item.
Just
The
straight up
pickpocket
steal.
shot.
And then when you upgrade it, it steals and damages. Steal first, and then steal and damage second.
Yeah, that would work good. Um, Any thoughts,
Jimmy's
Jamie?
quiet. I was going to
He was
say,
quiet.
Jimmy's
He was just
quiet.
listening.
I've been trying to sit here and think of something, interesting and different. The problem is I can't really come up with anything. Because I want to
Yeah,
pick
that's
one of those really, obscure items that might have only showed up for like one game. Except I'm not having much luck doing that.
Yeah, it's hard to
yeah. I
improve
know.
upon such an awesome series
That's the
without.
problem. They did so much work so far, and it's hard to think of something that's just going to make it better.
I honestly, and I know this is a bit of a spoiler, but I can't wait to see what they're gonna do for E3 because I know they're gonna drop the serious bomb on us.
Oh yeah,
This is
we both
people can
know
call
that.
me a fanboy all they want, but I know Nintendo is gonna show us some really ridiculous stuff
Oh,
for
here,
E3.
I
here,
would
At
not be
least for Zelda.
surprised.
here's my E3 prediction for Zelda. Since we're on that one anyway. My E3 prediction for Zelda, for the one that they're talking about, is that it will be a remake of the original,
What?
done in full
Well,
3D.
well,
It'll
I
remake
see
the
where he's
original
coming from because the whole thing is the continuity for Zelda is a little jacked up.
and they could
So why
fix it
not?
doing that.
So why not fix it and just make it more awesome? I mean,
And,
I don't think they're gonna do that, but it'd be awesome if they did.
and here, for people who've not seen it, you can go back through my video log. And I'm sorry, I'm doing advertising this way, but go through my video log and look for Zelda remakes that should be made, and I talk about how it could be done. And that is all I'm going to say on that, because I don't want to re-explain something I've already explained heavily.
Or they could just leave the original Legend of Zelda, but remove the part two.
No, I don't think they'll do that. I don't think
I
they
don't
will.
think they will either, but I'm just saying.
I think that if they're going to do it, they're probably going to remake that one, and then they'll work on remaking the second one to improve it and actually fix the continuity of the series.
Well, isn't the second one that? Oh, well, we leave that alone because the way I said it gets confusing. But yeah.
Oh man, it's really difficult to think of things to make the items better, or to have items that kind of just work for the MMO type of setup. I mean, because we can have all the standard franchise items, obviously, like I said, outside of the ones that specifically work for Link, Zelda, and Ganon.
Yeah, temporary boost,
Ganondorf.
enhancements of individual weapons.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess
because
we could focus. Oh, we could focus on the weapons themselves. There we go.
I was thinking, I mean,
Items would be too difficult, but if you focus on the actual weapons,
yeah, that might work out better. I mean, because we can always come up with all these weird potions and things that make these all these different psychedelic effects in the game, but yeah, weapons would probably work out better. So, but dang it, man, they have so many good weapons. What can I think of?
well, let's go class by class.
Okay. All right. Dang it. And I'm like forgetting what we named certain classes. I
All right,
think I got remember the basics though. So we'll start with Hylian with their knight class.
Okay.
I'm not going to call it paladin. Just call it knight.
All right.
Hylian knight.
All right.
Okay.
This
So
Lucario picture is badass. Sorry. I'm on Google Plus. My fault.
oh man.
All right. We're talking
Oh,
about
man.
Hylian and the weapons that can be used for Hylian class.
Well, they would have to have their little standard knight-like sword and everything.
We got the swords.
Single-wield sword and shield, and dual-wield swords, and
Okay.
two-handed swords. Those would be their
What about
three
halberd?
weapons of choice.
I thought I saw halberd at the castle before.
Isn't that two-handed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a two-handed single. That's like a two-handed broadsword. That's what I was thinking.
No.
Or is it like a different one?
A halberd is like a spear, but at the end of the
Oh,
the
yeah, you
spear
know what?
is
Yeah,
an
you're right.
actual blade.
Yeah, you're right. And that could that could work out too. Having like the spear type of weapon. So what we can think of for them is the types of weapons rather than the weapons specifically, because that
Mhm.
would like you were right there though. So you could have
Okay.
their sword and shield, single-handed wield weapon,
Okay.
dual wield swords. Um,
Close,
the
mid
two,
range, and long range.
I'd say that's probably better for close range. Have it like close range short sword type for
Yep.
those. Um, have the heavy broadsword type, sort of like Cloud's Buster sword, obviously,
Hmm.
for two hands, and like you said, the halberd for like
Yeah, mid.
the spear type.
Yeah, mid range. Yep.
Yeah,
And then long range would be like arrows and stuff.
yeah. But I mean, but generally, probably let that class all around just let them use like different types of projectile weapons, like bow and arrow or
Yep. Yep.
crossbow, or even like something that they can throw short distances, like a small knife. Not a shuriken, just like a small, a
Just
short
throwing
throwing knife.
tossing daggers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I don't want to mix things. I don't want people to get mixed up on that.
Like a pseudo brigand type.
Yeah. This is like you can pick your main weapon that you want to use, and then you can pick your distance weapon for the occasion where you can't just run right up on top of someone.
Because the whole key to MMOs is you need variety even within specific job classes.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to think. There
Panelists
will also have to be
frequently
like a
asked to be
blunt
on
type of
the line.
weapon. There will also have to be like a blunt type weapon.
Mm.
Just something it doesn't have to be a sharp object in order to be used. So something like a club or like dang it, the word escaped me. I had it and then I just kind of lost it. But like a club or like a hammer or something like that. Maybe an axe wielder.
Mm.
So I can think of the types of weapons that they should use, and yeah, those all fit like a knight type class. Those will all fit pretty well. Might throw in a shovel,
Why not? Just for randomness. It's an MMO. You never know.
but you don't see where the shovel came from, do you?
Well, Minecraft.
No.
Oh,
Well, there's a game that I'm thinking of when I said
Shovel Knight.
yeah.
Oh, I was like, sorry. I thought you was going back in time. I didn't know he was being recent.
No, I wasn't going that far back, but I was just for the interest, the factor of being interesting. You know, there would be someone who would want to be a shovel knight in Hyrule.
Why not? Smash somebody's
Yeah,
face in with a shovel.
that would
That's
be
awesome.
it would be fun.
I'll do it.
Link the shovel knight,
Link
the master shovel,
Rated E for everyone.
the master shovel.
I don't know if using a shovel on your opponent would be considered E for everyone.
Oh man. Well,
Sorry.
I guess Dead Rising is an E-rated game. But okay,
Oh, you can also use the shovel to just dig them in the ground
dude,
and then smack them
seriously,
with it.
you're really going to bury people in a Legend of Zelda game?
Yeah,
That's
and
what
then
we
smack
have
'em-
redeads for.
Why not?
and then smack them with the shovel on their head. Just-
man.
What? That's a misconception. People are like, "Oh, Legend of Zelda." I'm like, listen,
I'm not thinking of it being kiddie. I'm just thinking like that would take a lot of time to do.
it's a Legend of Zelda game. Smash
I
them.
could see the shovel.
Three, four quick shovels. Throw them in there. Keep it moving.
You know, I could see though having like the person using the shovel be able to set up like ditch traps, where they like sort of like set it up and it looks like the ground is pretty stable. You can walk on it. It's hollow as all heck, and people can fall in and get hurt. That I could see working for that type of weapon. But let's move to the sage for the Hylian people.
Holy crap.
Obviously, they'd have to have some sort of staff or like cane-like thing, but I'd say a staff because it just sounds better and it looks better. Um, or we could see him like with like a book of like magical attacks, a tome to be exact.
Hmm.
Trying to think of something else that would work for that class type. Because they'd have to have distance, so maybe like a projectile type of thing where they might have bows and arrows, but like not be as strong with it as like a knight would, because they can put more pressure on the bow.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think. There has to be something else because they would have to have some sort of. I mean, they could. I mean, the staff would be their blunt object, I guess. Wouldn't do a whole lot of damage, but they can hit people to back them up off of them, maybe stun them really quickly. That way, they have a way to escape close quarters combat.
Yeah, just smack him in the head.
He just wants to hit people in the head with things.
He just has an obsession with bashing people's heads in for some reason.
Obviously, all their magical spells would be what they would use for attack and defense. But like I said, close quarters, they'd have to have something to just knock people off of them real quick.
Hmm.
I mean, you can't give them too many physical weapons because it just doesn't fit the character type. And that's
What class are you talking about again? Hylian?
Sage.
Oh, Sage. Oh, I got lost for a second. Sorry.
You were thinking of something else, weren't you? No.
Silence is golden.
Oh man. Okay, I'll leave that one alone then. I don't really think there's too many more things that can be physically useful. I mean, they could hit someone with the book. That would be entertaining.
Well,
See
I
somebody
mean,
run up on a sage and get smacked in the face with a book.
well, the Sage class falls under what race again?
Hylian.
Well, okay. So if you fall under the Hylian class, you give them like a scepter.
Yeah, that would work. But I
And
was
they can-
trying to think of not saying that because I was thinking about the fire rod and the ice rod, and those are kind of scepters.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of why I hesitated. I'm like,
I mean, but then again, you could leave those as like their close range weapons with like their specialty effects, and they can use it, and we can make even like other ones like a thunder rod or a water rod
and
or
without
wood rod.
and without those, you can do a general energy blast and maybe something that could pull an enemy in close temporarily.
Yeah,
You could just pull them in close and do something and repel them.
yeah, that wouldn't be a bad way to go with it.
It's not super powerful, but very effective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If
well,
done
like something that
correctly-
could help them in a situation where they just can't really run too far on their own.
Exactly. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but if you time it correctly, you can do something.
Yeah. I mean, critical hits would definitely have to be a part of this.
Yeah. You don't want to make them
Let's-
weak because, I mean, magic works better, but you can't make them completely helpless if they run out of magic.
No. Well, yeah, that's why I was thinking they have to have something for close combat in case. Like,
Mhm.
that magic is missing.
It's
You
crucial,
can't really
but it's
do a
not
whole lot.
everything. Yep.
Yeah. I think though that's really all we can do. They get their staff, they can get a scepter, they can take their magical tome and beat you in the face with it, and then they could have like the
The
long range
face?
weapon of the bow and arrow or the crossbow.
Hmm.
I don't see a a mage type class throwing anything by hand. It probably wouldn't get much impact.
Yeah, that's not really happening.
So, and then the other one was we have the Sheik. There was another one that we had said though, because it had 4 of them.
For the Hellion class, we have the basic
What?
knight type warrior. We have
Knight,
the sage type. We have the sheik
And-
type.
There was another one. I'm sitting here drawing a blank. I know there was another one because I came with the Sheik. The Sheik one was the last one, so there was another one before that.
Games.
Oh, the cleric type. The cleric type. That was what it was. The
Cleric?
healer.
Okay. Healer.
They would
Okay.
probably have the same type of weapons as the sage, though,
Very similar. The
and
Sage
they
is
would
more
definitely.
offensive. The Cleric is more healing, but it's relatively the same class.
Yeah, and they would definitely be the type that would be the best for like the redeads and the pose and stuff like that. Because
Yeah,
healing
the
magic
Sage is
heals dead things.
yeah. The Sage is more like a green mage type, kind of sorta.
Yeah,
And then of course the Cleric is straight up white mage.
yeah. Which they could have the same weapon types, those two classes. They just
Yeah.
have different magical abilities,
Okay. Well
more
then,
or
just to
less.
make things interesting, give them limited summoning ability.
Yep, summoning for defense. Yeah, that will actually work out pretty well. I mean, because they can't sit there casting all them healing spells and not be protected.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're right on that. And moving on to the Sheik, obviously all of the ninja type weapons that you
Let's
can think of.
say you pretty much just make the ninja version for Hyrule.
Yeah, this is just all the ninja type weapons you can think of. I shouldn't even have to explain that one.
Yep.
I mean, there's no need to explain that one. Uh, Um, let's
Kind of
move
true.
on. Let's move on to the tougher one first, and that's going to be the Goron. Gorons are going to be a little bit tougher to think of items for, because I mean
Well,
actually no, because they could
it's
probably.
simple. They're brawlers and they're defensive, so you gotta put like stuff like maybe not brass knuckles, but gauntlets, armor, um,
Yeah, you're right.
stuff for heavy
Gauntlets and
shielding.
but they do use swords and blunt objects too, because the
Of
Goron
course,
sword is a pretty big, hefty, heavy sword that can do a
that's
lot
pretty
of
much yeah.
damage.
It's a claymore. Yep, that ain't no joke.
So they would have the Goron. They would have basically a claymore would be two-handed for a human. They
Yep,
use it one-handed,
they use it one-handed, so
and
for them,
They would not have shields because they can roll up and defend themselves when
oh,
they ball
you
up.
know what? Give them a claymore in one hand and a massive gauntlet in the next. That'd be awesome.
That will
Or
work
the
out. Yes, that
Defend
work.
and attack at the same time.
or the ability to dual wield two-handed swords.
Oh,
Well,
why not? Yeah,
that will
two
work good.
massive swords in
You
each
know what?
hand.
That would have to be specific to the Juggernaut type of
Yeah,
Goron.
yeah, there'd be the Juggernaut, exactly, because there's a Juggernaut type and there's a defensive type of Goron.
Yeah. So that would work out well for them. That way they could take out massive groups with a big whirling spin or roll down the middle of a battlefield. That would actually work out pretty good. And that would be cool to see too. That would
Oh
be
yeah,
amazing to see.
huge,
I'm
massive
I'm sorry.
swords just boom.
I would be that one dude on the opposing side that would run head first at that person because I know they're the biggest one there.
Yeah,
Just
because
because of that.
you have a better chance of surviving being up close. Because if you give them any room, you're done.
Yep. Oh, and I would definitely be a night class Hylian. Mm-hmm. I run right at him too. I run at him, shoot an arrow, and run right behind it at him. Wouldn't
Well,
look
me
back.
being me, I always have a weakness for ninjas, so I'd be a Sheik. Speed, stealth. I'm gonna mess you up before you even know what happened.
Oh man, look, see, I'm already talking about who I would be in the game, but let's get the characters.
Yeah, let's keep going. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, the bigger Juggernaut Gorons would definitely be able to dual wield claymores, which would be vicious. Oh gosh, I would love. Man, I would love to see that. Just see them wiping out a big group.
Okay.
Gosh.
Juggernaut will be two types then. They'll either be dual wielding claymores, or they'll have a massive hammer.
Yes,
And
I
the-
was going
and
to
the-
say that. A big Mjolnir.
Yeah, exactly. Mjolnir, yep. And then for the other type, they'll have gauntlets.
They'll
Really
have
powerful
gauntlets.
gauntlets.
Yes.
They don't do as
extremely
much
powerful gauntlets.
damage, but they're faster.
Yeah,
So they
and they can hit you
defend,
multiple
and
times.
Exactly. So the gauntlets would be for fast combos, fast moving, relatively decent defense.
Yeah. Let's say they could get gauntlets and they could single wield the claymores.
Sure,
That
why not?
way,
You gotta give them variety. Okay. You
I
can
mean,
have the
'cause
option to wield one gauntlet and a sword, or they can just do two gauntlets.
yeah, that would be the offset. Because I
Okay.
wouldn't want to strictly stop whoever might want to use a sword as a smaller Goron. They were like, okay, I would prefer to be the smaller one because I want to have that little bit of speed boost, but I still want to have a blade. And they could
Alright.
also single wield a hammer like a smaller hammer with their gauntlet.
Yeah, why not? Because the whole thing about, like you've said before a million times, the whole thing about MMOs is you want variety. You can't just be. I mean, there's limits to it, but you want to be able
But
to, play around.
the limitations would be the types of weapons, but the variety would be in the weapons themselves.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think we're pretty good with the Gorons. I mean, I thought that would have been harder, but that was actually pretty easy. So, um, next would be Zora. Which one should we tackle first?
Okay, let's go with the Aquarian version, I guess, the water types.
Okay.
Um, give them, depending on the types, I don't know how it'll go. Spears, um, and something involving sonic weapons of some sort.
Well, then, let's say divide it up. Have the more fish-like Gorons have the slightly heavier weapons.
So they will rock the spears and the
Yeah,
halberds.
yeah, and they will definitely be a little bit more defensive capable as far
Okay.
as physical attacks.
Mildly tank-like with medium range attacks. Okay.
Yeah, and the more humanoid, like I said, they would do the music type of thing, dealing with
Sound.
sound.
Okay.
So they would have like the guitars, the marching drum sets and things like that,
Okay.
and be able to blast you with sound with different musical items.
So they'll
Which
be
actually that
slightly
would make them
faster.
interesting.
They'll be slightly faster, and they'll range from close range to medium range.
Yeah. Let a group of them get together and that's it. Whoever's in that line of fire is done.
Like, okay, you can pull out your shield all you want, but it's not gonna stop the vibrations. You're
Because
done.
vibrations go through physical objects. So
Like you better hit me before I do anything, cause you're done.
yeah. So that would be their advantage. It would also be that they would have to be slightly physically weaker, but
Of course,
I mean,
to make it fair, the defenses will be lower.
yeah,
If you hit them, you're
Ugh.
gonna do almost double the damage.
you
But you
gotta
gotta
hit them
actually hit
harder.
them.
Gotta hit
You
them
gotta
harder
actually hit
though.
them. Yeah, exactly. You gotta actually hit them.
And then I guess their bird type of Zora, which is the Riku,
They'll be
got it right this time.
ridiculously fast.
Yeah, but they would be the ninja type for Zora.
Yeah,
So I
pretty
mean,
much.
they would
They're
share
the
weapons
Zora
with.
that can glide. I mean, they're the ship that can glide, basically.
Yeah. So
It's just me
wow,
and you
that one.
talking.
Yeah, we got two other people here that are just like listening, and we got somebody looking at link pictures.
Yeah. All of the pictures are kind of cool on one front there. Some of them.
Nah, I'm not gonna complain, but
Some of them.
come on, guys, throw something out. You letting me and Rashidi run with it?
It's a little scary.
I mean, if you wanna start talking about fucking I'm thinking about here. If you want to start talking about actual like core mechanics and end game and quests and that sort of thing, then I'm
Okay. See, that's where we'll let Jamie take over because that will be his specialty. He's like, man, I gotta let them do this part so I can get my part in.
That's fine. Because I know we're getting there regardless. And I
Well,
was hoping
we're not that far from that.
I'm hoping you'll chip in a little bit more before we get to that part, though.
Yeah, you gotta give us some build up, man. Okay. Zora's kind of covered because we can't really do too much more with them.
Yeah.
So next would be Kakuri, which Kokuri. I mean, I said Kakuri. Kokuri.
Kokiri.
They would actually be interesting because you got to think of specific weapons that fit them. So
Well, they're like the original legendary actual elves. So what do you
Yeah.
know about legendary elves in the past?
Ugh.
They,
I will
they,
say this. I will admit it that my knowledge on elves and things that elven people use is kind of
okay,
lacking.
okay. This is where I jump in, and hopefully Jamie can chip in too. Because from what I can tell, he's similar to me in this regard. He might actually know more than me. Um, Actually, I know he knows more than me. Because, anyways, elves in general in the past, they're usually fast. I won't say ninja type warriors, but they're fast. So you're thinking something along the lines of fencing, perhaps arrows, um, magic type. Darn, I can't really think of any. Darn, I'm drawing a blank. So Kokiri would probably be small sabers because they're small. They're not
Yeah.
regular. They're not regular elves. They're really small. So
Yeah.
Well, they also have,
Definitely.
they have actual Kokiri swords in the
Yeah, I was
game.
going to say definitely
so
a Kokiri sword. I'd
true.
say I could see them with, like you said, like a fencer type of weapon, and
Fast.
and
Yeah,
like
good.
their their general sword, which is going to be shorter than everybody else's. A short sword to them is just like a full size sword, and for, I guess that would split them up into three types then, because you have the bard type, which would use the musical instruments.
And I feel Blue Mage would suit them too. If you're a Final Fantasy fan, you know what Blue Mage rolls.
I was
But
thinking,
for the people, oh, go ahead.
I was thinking more or less their mage type would still be a warrior, like
Well,
a fighter directly
well,
to kind of balance them.
yeah, but me personally, and I mean, you guys can disagree. I feel since them being the woodland people, their magic type would be closer to blue mage type. And if people are unaware what blue mages are from the Final Fantasy series, they're like pseudo monster type abilities, like stuff that monsters usually do. They can kind of use that type of magic type similar to them.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
I can't really explain it any better at the moment. Hopefully, one of you guys can clarify that for those that don't know what blue mages are.
Well, blue mages are mages that are effectively able to copy and reuse enemy magic.
Yeah, that's about that was about as good as an explanation we can get right now.
Okay, let's roll with that then. There you go. Because I could easily see Kokiri doing blue mage type stuff.
Yeah.
That's
So
just
that,
my personal opinion.
so yeah, that man, that would actually split them up into four classes.
Why not?
No problem with that.
They're magical beings.
They are definitely heavily steeped in magic, and their magic would more or less their basic magic would be nature type magic anyway.
Yep.
So I could see that.
I mean, you can have it where, let's see, you got, um, you got two races with similar classes. You can have it both like that. So a Goron could be like, let's say, a mage. Um,
Yeah, but based on what we've seen, though, Gorons aren't really the
Well,
magical type.
I know they're more like muscular, but
but in his pitiful defense, if they do mage, it'll be limited. It'll be more like rock type defensive. Like they'll kind of like a Earth style in Avatar.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking anyway.
Still a shitty idea though. I'm just being an asshole. Sorry.
Oh man,
I just had to say something messed up. I'm sorry.
it's all right. Um, okay, but I'm trying to think. So we have a bard for the Kokori. Then you have their mage. I don't want to call it a blue mage though, because that's just taken from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, we gotta.
Uh,
Yeah, I just had to put that idea because it makes it more understandable for us old school
uh,
nerds.
I guess you could call him an Earth Sage.
That
You
works.
just call. Okay, yeah, why not?
Then they would have their little standard infantry warrior type.
Yeah, because there's a basic brawler. Yep.
As they call them, a Kokiri fighter.
Yep.
And then the Skull Kid, which is a combination of several different class types.
Yep. A corrupted version of the 3 types.
Darn
Yeah,
it.
that could work out.
Because there's going to be 4 types for the Kokiri, basically, right?
Yeah. So I mean, because you talked about the weapons that they could use, and I was like, well, we have to make for that they have to have the specific types.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So I could say the bards, like you said, would use the musical weapons. Like the ocarina would be like the epitome of their weaponry, though, as far as music goes,
Mm-hmm.
and having the several different stages of ocarinas. Then for the Earth Sage, we could definitely have them take on like a wood staff and stuff like that, and have like just short distance weapons, like mid to short range projectile weapons, like having the having the slingshot, for example, to use as a weapon, where they could use different types of rocks that do different levels of damage.
Shot, boomerang,
And the boomerang.
the grappling hook.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Grappling hook might not be safe for them. You think about they go pulling on the Goron. That's it.
Oh, true. That backfire.
That might not work out well. It would
That'd be funny
see
to watch, though. Exactly.
Yes, it would. Gosh, it would be funny. Somebody has to animate that. Then I guess we could move on to their little fighter, who we would see with a saber type of weapon, also like a fencing type of sword. I could see them using. They could use also like a staff as their like blunt type of weapon, which works for attack and defense. But I mean, it wouldn't be like a heavily defensive thing. And definitely they use like the Deku seeds as their projectiles. Flashbang Deku seeds and
Yeah, why not?
hard as a rock Deku seeds.
Oh,
Then vine trap Deku seeds. Man, they have a variety of Deku seeds.
yeah. Why not? Good for me.
That would be that's like a jack of all seeds.
That was so tacky, but sure.
I know it was tacky. It just didn't sound right when I said it, and I thought it afterwards, and I was like, wow, I really did say that.
But whatever, dude. That's fine.
And then the Skull Kid would definitely see. This is where I would say they'd have to be able to use all the different types of weapons. They just wouldn't be as strong with them individually, but they would have to be able to use all the different types of weapons that the Kokiri could use.
Of course. I mean, exactly. You want to balance. You don't to make it fair. You don't want to make any particular class overpowered. The more powerful they are in one way, we need to make them weaker in another way.
Yeah, so they could be the jack of all trades of that specific race.
Not necessarily super strong, but they can do just about anything.
Yeah, they could be decent at everything, but not. They can't really perfect it, which would actually work out pretty well.
Although honestly, the Earth Sage type, quote unquote, the Blue Mage should be a little overpowered simply because they are in tune with nature.
Well, yeah,
So
they would have to be.
So that might be the OP side, but in that regard, we just make them, I guess, weaker defensive wise.
Yeah, that's how you balance it out. Because they can stomp a mud hole in you with all their magic. Yeah, they have to be able to not take a punch.
Pretty much. Get close enough to hit them, they're gonna feel it, and then some.
Yeah. Obviously, they would have to have some sort of defensive magic and some sort of stat boost magic. But that's all the magical types would have.
Pretty much.
So I mean, yeah, I think we're good on the Kokiri.
You're literally drawing that, Rosa?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good job, man. I wasn't even paying attention.
I thought it was somebody
Good
else's
job.
picture. I didn't know he was actually drawing that.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
doing
you
it
did a good
through
job.
our academy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, you
Sorry, didn't
bum.
mean to distract anybody. Good stuff, dude.
But at least he's keeping it on theme.
Yeah.
But I think we're good with Kokiri because unless we're going to delve into specific types of weapons, I mean specific weapons, it's no real point in going any further with them.
Yeah, the
So,
gotta move.
last but not least, the Gerudo people.
Gerudo, the ultimate thieves slash ninja type.
With a
Slash
good hint of warrior.
As I say, with the warrior, yup. So
Oh,
there are
man,
three
they-
classes: emphasis in thievery, emphasis in power, and then the ninja-ish type. Kind of combination of both.
Well, the ninja one is kind of where the thief would go. The thievery would go. They're just because there's just where they are.
You know
Is
what?
that
Go ahead.
I would say that just to combine those two elements to that one class, and then
That's
have
true.
like your basic knight type warrior, which would be. Dang it! What did it just say there?
But I think we need a loophole. You have a warrior type and you have the ninja-ish thief type. I think we
And
should
then I
just have
also
a
said like
third
a
type.
shaman type too.
Exactly. We need the shaman type.
Would be their mystical magic ones.
Okay,
But
cool.
I would give them they would be sort of like like the red mage from Final Fantasy, who is
That sounds
balanced
good.
in offensive and defensive magic. That's where they would be. They're not as good at either as like the
Just an
other ones
offensive.
are.
Yeah, just
But
an
they
offensive version of the blue mage, basically.
yeah. And then we had four for them because we had Warlord, which is similar to what Ganon was, which he's kind of like the OP of the class.
hmm
But their weakness would be their speed.
Okay, so the warrior
So they-
type are relatively powerful,
They
but
have
their
decent, they have
speed,
like average speed.
they have about
and
average speed.
Then you have your ninja type, which has a lot of speed, and
But
they
their
would have
attack is lower.
they would have lower attack, but they would have a bigger variety of attacks, and they can take stuff from you.
Okay, that
And
sounds cool.
Shaman, which is like I said, their mage type, which would have offensive and defensive magic, and then the Warlord, who is drastically less speedy, but has more power, and they have high offensive magic.
Okay, but to make it fair, the warrior type should be a locked class. You gotta unlock it.
Well, that would probably make more sense. Wouldn't have a bunch of Ganons just running around.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no.
you gotta
That
unlock
happens,
that
no.
particular type.
An
Like,
army of
lock it-
Ganons.
Like lock it for level 70. There you go.
Yeah, something like that. You just can't just get that particular type. You gotta work for it.
Or you gotta work. You have to get like 7 keys or something like that that are hidden around the whole place that are like so hard to
Oh,
find.
so you want it to be a transformation into that class rather than it be what you have already.
Yeah.
Yeah, because because even if he lacks his speed, he's gonna be a beast.
You gotta make it.
It's not fair.
I mean, that's the commander-in-chief of the battlefield, dude. Yeah, he's gonna be a problem.
Exactly. That's like you know what? And to make it fair, and you make a good point. Each class should have something you gotta unlock.
Well, then I guess for Hylian class, that would be
Like the paladin. A paladin.
that would be the upgrade to the knight class. Yeah, the paladin.
Yep. And then the Kokiri would be.
I'd say Skull Kid would be the Kokiri
Yeah, screw it.
unlockable.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Then Goron couldn't really have an unlockable class unless you're just going to like make a more powerful version of what they already are.
Doesn't need it. They're just ridiculous regardless. You just have to you just gotta learn how to finesse them.
And Zora, I don't really see Zora needing an unlockable either.
Okay, well then we just have 3
That would-
unlockables for now.
Because those two races don't have as many classes, is what I'm looking at.
Yeah, those are the ones you just gotta learn how to. Once again, I know this is not gonna clash all with the modern day gamer. You're gonna learn how to finesse the controller and then how to play the game.
Yes.
You might have to die a couple of times.
A
And you
couple
Oh.
can't,
thousand
and
times.
a couple thousand times, and you can't buy your way out of it or have a cheat code. You're gonna have to learn
No.
how to do it.
No cheat codes. None. Gosh, I hate that.
You're gonna have to get your ass whooped a bit.
I'm sorry, in an MMO, cheat codes would be wrong.
Well, actually, in
No.
MMOs, there's always cheat codes, but
Which is the
it's a
problem.
bitch and a
No,
half to get it.
there's always workarounds in an MMO, but there should not be an outright cheat
I
that just
agree,
gives you
but
everything.
I agree, but yeah,
So that, we still have to think of Gerudo. We already know Shadow. What did you call it? Shadow something. Shadow. Dang it! I know it. I know it, and it's sitting in
the
my head,
Gerudo
and I'm like,
class.
yeah, it was Shadow something that you said. What Shadow Walker? That's what you called it.
Let's say Shadow Walker. I'm guessing that's what you're trying
Yeah,
to refer to.
Shadow Walker. Those are same weapon types as the Sheik, because I mean, there's no way to avoid it. They would just have to share weapon types, and the stats would have to be somewhat similar. But I'd probably give the Gerudo a little bit more power, and the Sheik a little bit more. No, I give the Gerudo a little bit more speed, and the
Okay,
Sheik will
give
probably have a
the
little bit more power.
Yeah, Gerudo more speed. Yep, exactly.
Because they're more thieving types, so they would have to be a little bit faster.
Yep.
Then their warrior type class would probably share similar weapons to. Their weapon types would be similar to the Hylian.
There will be the more offensive version of the Paladin.
Yeah, their weapons would pretty much run along the same lines as the Hylian type weapons. Only one that we really would have to think of weapons for would be the warlord type. If you think about it, because they would have to have something bigger and better than the other classes, especially if it has to be unlocked and they're so dang OP'd anyway.
No,
So
their class will be a combination of multiple classes. The only difference is their weapon would be like a grimoire type, an actual living weapon. Like I
actually,
said,
yeah, I could go with that.
you have to unlock it though,
I
and
could
it's
go with
gonna
that.
be
That works out.
it's gonna be a bitch and a half to unlock it because it's so overpowered.
I
What do you fear?
I can already see in my mind a bunch of people like, man, if I was playing this game, I would go for Warlord. I would be a
Which is
Gerudo, just be a
which is
Warlord.
exactly why we gotta make it a pain in the butt to get it because it'll
Yeah.
feel that much more satisfying when you actually unlock
Once
it.
you get to that point and you can start owning everybody,
But then, just to be a jerk, thanks to Sakurai, I'm thinking they gotta be even as overpowered as they are. They gotta have a weakness to a weaker class. You just have to know how to.
they have to have like some sort of weakness to like a magical class, as far as I'd say.
Hmm. Okay, well
'Cause
then the weakness would be towards. Even though people would like to say Hellion, no, I think the Kokiri would be the weakness.
you know what? That will work out well. That will work out. That will balance it off. And it'd be like, man, I can't beat these little people.
Yeah, exactly.
I
They
mean,
destroy
if you're
everybody
good
else.
enough, you could, but
These tiny little guys just give me a friggin'
just have a
hell.
group of them jump you.
Yep.
I'd say more or less specifically, their weakness would be the Skull Kid directly, but
Yeah.
generally they would have a weakness to the Kokiri in general.
Yeah. The
That
Skull
would be
Kid
a good way to go with it.
All right. What do you gentlemen think?
Yeah, go with it.
He's saying
Yeah,
that so he
I think-
doesn't have to think about anything.
No.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I need it.
Yeah, I think that works.
Get the Zora class and the Goron class aren't going to have any unlockable upgrades because they just get stronger and stronger as it is, and they get better at what they do. But the other three would have like their specific unlockable classes that you have to work your butt off to get.
Yeah.
So
Like
yeah,
Paladin for Hylian, Skull Kid for Kokiri, and the
Warlord.
Warlord for the Gerudos.
Yeah, that works
Those
out
are-
real well. That works out perfectly. Now, Jamie.
And the Paladin destroys the Skull Kid. It's a rock paper scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors effect. So the warlord would be the weakness to the paladin.
Yep. And
So,
the
yeah, that works
paladin
out.
destroys the Skull Kid, and Skull Kid destroys the warlord. There you go.
Balance. We have equilibrium.
Word.
We have the Triforce.
Exactly.
Oh man, I am so simple-minded.
Hey, honestly, keep it simple, stupid's the best way most of the time.
Yeah, generally. But okay. So we can move on to game mechanics, and I would love to let Jamie take this one over
Does
because
this
I want to hear
also
what he has to
involve,
say.
like, attacks?
All right. Well, I mean, as far as game mechanics are concerned, I think one of the best ways to kind of handle combat is surprisingly kind of the way that was done in Xenoblade Chronicles.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I just knew it was coming. I had a feeling. I was like, I bet he's going to mention Xenoblade. I knew it. I knew it.
Because, World of Warcraft, the reason it's kind of held up as the standard for MMOs is just because, the combat's solid, but it's kind of missing positioning. And I think that's a key that it really needs, that would really succeed in MMO, is positioning and the characters you're fighting actually having some sort of collision detection. Because, in World of Warcraft, you can just run directly through everything. So, having collision detection, having a combat system closer to Xenoblade Chronicles, I think that's kind of the best way to do the combat system.
Say, dude, we were both on the same thought process because I knew that was coming. I know it's gonna come. That's why I picked you first because I figured that's where you were gonna go. Damn it, I was right. And I honestly, I do agree with that because that setup, and I mean, even though I haven't really played Xenoblade Chronicles a whole lot because I actually borrowed it from someone, but they wanted their game back, so I didn't get to keep it. I'll just have to go get my own copy. But just the brief amount of time I had with that game, I got a co-host now, but it works out. It just fits it so well. That will work so well, especially for team management. That will work out really well. And they would have to have They would have to have some odd ragdoll physics too for when they get hit, so we could just see the characters get twisted up in these weird looking positions. That would just make it comical, and it would be more realistic as far as how they get hit. That would be the only thing that would have to be realistic about this. Just to put that out there. I don't like it when the character gets hit and they just stand there like nothing happened. I want to see some effect. I want to see some damage. If you get poked in the eye, I want to see your head go backwards and your character grab their face. Even if it's only for a couple seconds. It just has to happen.
Are you asking for next generation type behavior?
Something that has already been proven to be able to be done, yes.
I'm
sorry, I've seen PS2 games do it. No joke.
I'm just commenting.
I know, but I'm just saying if they can do it, if it can be done on old stuff, I'm pretty sure it can be done on current. Oh man, that would definitely set it for me if I could see something like that along with the play mechanics of Xenoblade Chronicles. That would be perfect. Like it would just make it. It would just feel so right to see a character get hit in the face and they actually stumble backwards.
That would be
nice.
I
mean, at least if it's hard enough hit. I mean, right. Obviously, if your levels are offsetting, then you probably won't. It probably work like it does in current RPGs where the damage just doesn't show. But if they're of a similar level, it should be shown. And if a character with a level that's way higher than the one that they're fighting, and they hit them, that character should be sent flying off in the distance like Luffy punched them with his big gigantic hand. I'm sorry, it has to be that way. It's got to make sense for the game, at least in my eyes. I would love to see like a level 50 Goron hit a level 20 Hylian, and the Hylian goes flying off in the distance like he's been knocked off a mountain.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
And it would have the damage accrued with it. Like you get knocked that far, you hit the ground from that drop, you're hurting.
You get damage from the hit, and you get damage from the fall itself.
Yes. Yes. But only if that's the type of situation. I'm saying if a level 50 Hylian gets hit by a level 50 Goron, he shouldn't be sent off flying into space like Team Rocket. He should be able to withstand the blow because he has the experience to be able to take the blow. Whereas the level 20 doesn't. At least if you're matching up a character class like the Knight against the Juggernaut.
I disagree with that pants there.
Why?
No, not what you said. I'm speaking to Rosa. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm looking at him join the link. Sorry.
oh, dang. That's coming along nicely, though.
Yeah, I like the drawing. I'm actually paying very close attention to what he's doing. I'm looking at the pants design, though. I don't think that quite suits it, but yeah.
Let him do what he wants. We all know who it is.
Yep. Don't mind me. I just had an OCD moment. I have a lot of those.
It's all right. It's okay. We're here to support you.
Yeah, I don't want medication. I gotta find ways around that. Remind?
What?
Oh yeah, that's right. I got a bottle of beer in the fridge somewhere.
There you go. That's your medication. Gamer man,
Yes.
you're not saying anything.
It's just. Alright, can I go into, like, let's say, fighting mechanic there?
Well, we kind of did do that.
No, like, no, I mean, like.
Or you
actual,
talking about direct combat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Hey, if you want
Alright.
to take a crack at it, go ahead. I'm all for
Here
it.
we go. Gotta stretch my back. Alright.
He's getting serious.
Now, basically, for the Goron, is that if we're gonna make him like, let's say, a brawler kind of thing, right? He would be He would do one punch, two punch. Let's see, a right hook, and then he would crawl into his ball and then slam right into.
Oh, you thinking straight up combinations? So yeah, that would be a good basic combo.
Mm-hmm.
What about an advanced combo?
Eliminate his combination though. You can't do any long combos because of his character type.
Yeah,
No, but
because
the
if he's
thing is-
doing
no, the
super
thing is
long
there-
combos, he's
The
It's
thing
not
is,
fair.
there
because he's
is
powerful.
a stamina bar. Now, understand that.
okay. Yeah,
Oh,
so
there
as he
you
wears
go.
down, as he wears down, his
Each
attacks get
long
weaker.
time.
You know what?
That's
But that would
beautiful.
have to
Makes
fit.
sense.
That would have to fit all of the highly physically offensive classes.
Yep.
It's a good thing.
There is a
Work out.
stamina bar. So basically, also, let's see. We have the Knight class. I wouldn't say they would do like Link's kind of Final Smash thing, but for them it would be like how could I say? It would be like
Is Link wearing jeans?
That's one of my complaint. You didn't hear me say it?
No, I didn't hear that. If I had noticed, I would have said something. Dude, you have Link in jeans.
That's why I made my comment.
Jeans?
That's why I said it in the first place. I'm like,
Man.
that looks like jeans. That doesn't look right.
That's it. Man, come on. You know what?
We're
We'll say he's modern day Link.
we're
He's
old.
a cosplayer.
He's young. Leave him alone. We're old bastards. It's fine.
That's a young dumb cosplayer Link.
Hey, that's messed up, dude. Even though I thought the same thing, you shouldn't have said it.
You know what? You would have said it eventually.
Yeah,
I just beat
this
you
is
to
me.
it.
You're right.
I
This
just
is
beat
me.
you
I
to
would
it.
say it eventually.
I mean,
Alright,
he's still
so-
doing a good job on it, though. I'm not
no, it looks good.
knocking that.
This is like my
Keep going,
first time
dude.
ever drawing like fully like this on an.
I'm just saying, though, dude, Link in jeans is just not right.
I don't know. I'm trying to put in that like modern day look.
You just made a lot of people's fantasies come true having a modern Zelda character.
Well, technically, he can say it's leather pants, Leather pants is almost the same as jeans.
Yeah, but they didn't have pockets on them.
Well, I've seen some RPGs where they actually did have pockets on them.
No, I'm talking about Zelda. We know. Okay, RPG. Dude, this Final Fantasy RPGs that are in the future. So, but I'm not worried about that.
I
I'm
never
just
said
going
Final
based on
Fantasy.
Zelda.
I'm just saying.
I was just saying in general.
Okay.
But go ahead and keep going on your.
All right.
My co-host is a little loud. Keep going
I
on
feel
your,
your pain.
your fighting mechanics, man. Go ahead. I want
All right,
to hear
so-
more of this.
Basically, next with the music notes. All right, the music attacks now. You would have it where you would play one song, but you have to get it right. So basically, you would have
He's talking about having like a Guitar Hero set up.
now yeah that would be for like a kind of a
Or that'd
special.
be awesome because if you do the timing right, you do
Yeah.
some major damage.
That'll
but if you
be
jack
that'll
it
be
up,
like
it'll be-
a that'll be
Sorry.
like a spamming not a spamming, sorry, a special kind of type thing. So let's see, we're putting with, so basically yeah, you would have it where you would attack with, now if it was music, so that's gonna be difficult. Now the special thing that could be that, like a Guitar Hero setup almost, and then for that though it would be like let's see. I guess you would be like the person who, if you have to be at least like, how could I say, 5 feet away from them, and
5
the
feet.
music. I said feet. You have to be 5 feet away from them, and literally and then you're playing your music. So basically, it would be like let's see, if you're using the Wind Waker. Now now the thing is, there's different musical items you can use. All right, you can use the Wind Waker, the Ocarina, or I know there's another one.
You might have to take the Wind Waker out of that because that was kind of Link specific.
Well, we'll do variations because you can't do the ocarina either. Basically, there's multiple musical item types that we can use. That's magically enhanced.
The Oracle.
Keep it moving.
No. What was that one thing in the Oracle season? Right, the
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like the
Again,
yeah.
But once again, only Link can use it. So we'll just make modified versions that's similar.
Yeah. Because if it's the exact one that the character used, then yeah, we can't really pass that off to.
But that's fine. We
player
can fake the
characters.
funk. It'll be
But we
almost
can-
identical.
Definitely do some like clone type
There
items
you go. Keep
that
going.
are not that wouldn't be as effective as the ones that the original characters use. Put it that
There
way.
you go. There you go.
Well, I'm just saying because somebody's gonna be like, well, that's not fair. How come he can get that but I can't get it?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's where I'll go
And
with
then since it's like a music kind of thing, I know this really wouldn't be there, but like let's say you would have kind of like a music kind of note attack kind of thing.
Why'd
So
you stop drawing? Sorry, I'm messing with you.
so basically you would have like a musical attack kind of thing where you would have some music notes going after you, and then at the end of it they would go like like going all crazy with it, and then they basically
What?
Why do you sound like an alien coming?
Say that
Whistle
again?
like an alien ship pop.
Yeah, you just randomly whistled. I was following you up until that last part. What?
Oh gosh, man.
not really like that, it's just
Oh, I'm sorry, but the whistle sounded like a UFO landing.
but it's like let's say you can play like the Song of Thunder, right?
Song of Storms.
Song of Storm,
I was
correct.
gonna say Song of Storms. I don't really find that.
Song of Thunder, I don't know, it reminded me of that
Well,
because I just
you could make up different songs to be
Yeah,
used.
yeah.
Song of Thunder
Yeah.
could be
So
a
basically-
possibility.
you would have the Song of Thunder, you would have, of course, you bring back the Song of Storm, not the Song of Time because that is freaking cheap.
You can use time because you have to be linked to do that. But keep going.
Yeah. You would also have the Song of Winds. You would have the Song of Fire.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
basically, it would be
Basic
like
elements.
Yeah, it would be different elements. The Song of Thunder would be similar to the Song of Storm because I actually like the way that freaking thing sounds. Um, and then you would
That's
have it.
fine.
Well, I'd see the Song of Thunder just being straight up lightning strikes, and the Song of Storms being something that might be able to slow people down or like cause hurricanes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it'd be like
No, I'm just saying like
a combination of wind, lightning, and rain. But yeah,
And
that
that
would
would
be
have to
more.
be a high-powered, high-level one.
No, I
that
would
would have to
actually.
be
Yeah, that would
exactly.
actually.
That's like a final move type of deal.
Yeah, that would actually be the final move kind of thing right there. Because that way you play the Song of Storms, and then like you got tornadoes, thunder, hail, I don't know, whatever.
Man,
Exactly.
Could be coming down.
musical characters kind of strong. Gosh, gotta get to them
I mean,
quick.
You gotta
But then, exactly. But that's how you balance it out. That
You gotta
move is
make a- you know,
ultra
you gotta-
powerful, but it's super slow. You gotta get it just right, or you're done.
like
So
that's the thing.
basically,
If you want to play the
basically
right
our
musical
move-
notes, you have to press yeah.
I was going to say basically our ninja types would be the offset to our musical types.
More
Somewhat.
or less.
And then basically you go in and you would have to press, let's say, a certain button on the controller in order to like put in the full out music, and then you would have to play everything. So yeah, and then there you go. Final
You
move
know,
there.
I'm cool with this idea. That sounds really good. I mean, I probably wouldn't have thought of that, and that's odd. But yes, that actually works really well.
And then the
Very
ninja type.
considered, you sir.
And then now the ninja types. Okay, this is where I'm gonna have fun.
You know he's gonna go all Naruto on this. So
Not Naruto.
What, you gonna take it down the
Not gonna-
ninja scroll?
No, I'm not
Naruto's
gonna
more
go
fun.
down some-
I love Naruto, but that's not ninja.
I know that's not.
There's people bouncing off trees at high speed, and they can be super heavy, but light as a feather at the same time.
Silence is golden.
Oh man.
But basically, what would be for the ninjas is like, you know how basically almost it's almost similar to like let's say Sheik's moveset from like let's say Brawl, but or Smash in general, but let's say you would have it where it's just like a mixture of just hits everywhere. So basically, you would have it where it's just like how can I say like. Punch, and then they go right they're like you know how some ninjas do like a jump spin up around them, right? So they would go like hit spin around them, and then do it with like their elbow kind of a thing, like or at least do like that the neck chop.
I mean, like where they do a leap and it's like super fast and they appear behind the opponent to attack.
It's like yeah.
Okay.
It's like they leap but they're like twirling at the same time, you know, like that.
Yep. Like
That,
Ninja
that kind
Gaiden.
of jump where they can kind of just get behind, but not really take any damage because things kind of just like go around them.
Yeah. And then you would have it. Can I have like a little like let's say a little blade?
Yeah, I mean,
It's gonna be a
did we
ninja-
just
It's
did
gonna
we
be
say
a
it would
short-
basically have ninja type weapons like
Yeah,
things
shorter
like some
blades.
I don't know because I don't know
shurikens,
because
claws
it's
and
like
stuff that.
'cause, it's like Zelda universe, so I'm just thinking they probably just
Yeah, but they have that type of stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
You've seen the stuff that Sheik uses.
Yeah, it's a shorter blade.
Yeah, so it's fine. That's cool. That works.
Yeah, she did use a friggin' blade. Alright.
Yeah, it's a slightly longer than
Okay.
a dagger.
I got this then. All right, it's like since like a ninja, you would say, all right, 2 hits, twirl around, and then elbow, chop, and then sword, like or whatever they little like blade. So it'd be
Are you
like
literally going into the combos? Okay.
like I'm trying to make it, but don't forget there is a stamina thing, so that would go down every time
You know,
attack.
know who I think would be a perfect outline for the ninja characters?
Who?
Who would fit with what you're talking about? Taki from Soul Calibur. She's
Oh,
kind of like
Taki.
the perfect template to start from.
See, I'm
Where
a
you're
I'm
going.
a old I'm a ODB because since you said Taki, I imaged a bunch of stuff that I probably shouldn't have. And
Man,
then I thought HSD is Shishonga's disciple, and you already know where my mind went after that.
yeah, I kind of know. You're thinking of, I know what you're talking about. You're thinking of the Weapon Master.
Yep.
Don't get sidetracked that much.
Well, I will give you this. This is the first time we had an anime sidetrack and you wasn't involved.
You
You
know what?
wasn't the
That is
culprit
true.
this time.
Well,
You wasn't the
technically, I
culprit
was
this time.
involved because I gave you the base that led to that.
Well, yeah, but usually you would say something more blatant. So this time around, you're innocent, kind of.
I'm not guilty by association, even though I am associated.
There you go. We'll go with that.
But Taki would be the perfect template to start from. I mean, you have to expand upon her moveset so that you can give variety to the different races that have that similar class. But yeah, I know where you're headed. Because if
Yeah.
you're going to lay out all the combos, we will be here forever.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go with those things.
Yeah, as I
And
said,
just,
we ain't going into detail about the combos right
Yeah.
now.
Because if we could definitely do that, but
But that'd be like a
so
5-hour
long.
plus
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh gosh, and
So-
people would drop out halfway in.
But yeah, basically that would be much for at least those three. Let's see, what was the other one? What was the other type?
The others were like a knight type,
Night type.
like warrior type. Because
Now a knight, I could see it. A knight, I could see playing more like a Dark Souls kind of a thing, just faster.
I can understand that.
Yeah, it's just a Dark Souls kind of thing. It's just like
I mean,
a
I was
slash
gonna
slash.
I was gonna say they probably feel like this is probably something that a lot of people don't really remember. But I'd see like if somebody wanted to use a claymore, more or less, I could see characters playing like like to do Guts from Berserk, but kind of slow in comparison to him.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
Slower than him because he swings his massive dragon blade like it's
he throw
like
that
his
thing
life
like
is a feather.
it's a dagger. I'm like, dude, that big ass sword shouldn't have to be moving around that fast.
Like that's just how strong he is.
But yeah, but that's like Cloud. Cloud throws that damn
The
friggin'
Buster
Buster Sword like
Sword.
it's nothing.
Yeah, but
That
I'm just
Buster Sword
saying.
is thrown around like a dagger.
But I'm saying move in similar movements to how Guts moves from Berserk, but slowed down to
Normal,
kind of
normal
human level,
Yeah, normalish human.
or sort of like Siegfried or
Normal-ish.
Nightmare from Soul
Yeah.
Calibur.
Oh yeah,
They are
okay.
appropriate speed.
Yeah, that works.
There's like slash
Yeah, that
slash,
makes sense.
shield bash, turn slash. There you go.
Yeah. Oop. See,
Okay.
he's digging into specifics again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just
I understand. I want to do it
No, there's
too, but
nothing wrong with it.
we can't really do it because of how
no,
long.
I know. But yeah,
Time
basically
constraints.
it would just play as like a Dark Souls type of thing. Let's just alright, I'm just gonna end it there.
I haven't played Dark Souls, but I've seen enough of it to understand where you're going.
Yeah. And then let's see.
You haven't touched the magical ones yet.
The magical ones, now that I have to be like more specific with because it just depends on what they can do.
Yeah, because we have so many we have different magical types, so yeah, you couldn't
Yeah.
really delve into that too much.
So it's like I don't know, you would have one magic where you have the healing types that are mostly with that, but then they would
Okay. Here's what I'd say do. What's your template for the Gerudo Warlord?
Gerudo Warlord. Okay.
Because I know you have fantasies. Come on.
Let's see, the Warlord now. This should be something. The Warlord would be more. I mean, give me some more specifics on what a Warlord would be. Sorry, just. I mean, he would be like more of a, it would be like a type of gladiator, right?
Okay. The Warlord type is sort of like Ganon. That's what basically what Ganon was. Just a Gerudo.
Slightly powered down. Yeah, Gerudo
Yeah.
type.
Okay, so basically he's like a big guy with a big, huge sword. I got you.
Yeah, and has a lot of magical powers and stuff like that.
Okay, I got you. So basically, you would have it where he would play because the thing is, I'm thinking also like Demise from Skyward Sword, where he had that big huge sword. So I'm just
Well,
thinking about that too.
oh damn, you're too young. You wouldn't get this. Okay.
Wait, what?
I was gonna say Dark Knight from Final Fantasy IV, kind of
Dark
sorta.
Knight? Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Without the energy sacrifice.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah.
Um. All right. So basically, the warlord would have a mix of magic and sword. So basically, you would have it where
Magic swordsman, but dark type.
All right. So basically, you would have it where he could put his sword on black fire. How about that?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then that would increase somewhat of the attack. And then
But it'll be a temporary thing, like a
temporary, only like
a
about
burst type or something.
only about like 10 seconds. I would put it.
Something like that. Yeah, that'll work.
That should be enough. And they could also put other dark elements to make the sword even more of a hazard.
You don't want to get hit by that. You better block or dodge, and even blocking will hurt.
Yep.
Wouldn't kill you, but it would cause damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically,
Run.
Yeah, run. I don't know. Just pull one hit and then
Run.
or just
Run and dodge. But there would have to be, I would say for this, there would definitely have to be like some sort of dodge initiated in the game.
Oh no, a dodge mechanic would be
yes, there would have to be a dodge mechanic.
The knights would
But to make
have.
it,
What? Yeah.
the paladin can neutralize it, but yeah, somewhat,
Okay. That would work.
just to make it fair.
And then the dodge roll mechanic would be, of course, a knight would have a dodge roll. I would say the Goron would have like some type of, I think, just roll back.
Yeah, because they just fall backwards and roll into a ball. So yeah,
Like they would just have like a roll
Works.
back. And then for of course, the knights, and then the ninjas would just have it where like they would do like a quick dash away, like a quick and then the warlords would have it where they could dodge. How could I say? It depends on how it would be. So they could just have it where they can. Now I'm going a little bit into this, but they would have like a type of dash, but not as like a ninja where it's like fast, but it's like, let's say, a type of dash where it would be like a shield in front of them while they dash. So I mean, I don't know if you notice what I'm talking about. Like I don't know if you.
I get what you mean. It's like a step type of thing where they can just get out the way real quick.
Yeah, if
but
you know, like
being like super fast.
Like if you know Terra from Kingdom Hearts, PBS, which means birth by sleep. The thing is,
The PSP. Go ahead.
yeah, his dodge is basically like he dashes, but it's like a slow kind of dash, I would say. But he dashes, and that's like his avoid, like his evasion. So that's basically how it would be. Because I can see them like that. If it's gonna be like, especially like a big strong guy, right? You're gonna have it like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If it's like basically on strength, because a lot of dark types are basically on strength. Like a lot of dark magic and a lot of dark enemies and stuff like that, or characters in general are just like all about like strength. So basically, I would see how it would be like that. So I guess that would be it for that.
Yeah, I think though we've gone on kind of long.
Yeah.
I don't think we really covered everything. So
Not even close, bro. We're like, we got the basics down. We just didn't get all the details pertaining to the basics.
yeah, so we're kind of like, I guess we'd say we're about half in on that, and we've been going for a good couple hours. So I would say we probably put a close to this one right here, and we'll do like a part 2. If everybody's in
Jamie
agreement
edition.
with me.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't talked much.
Jamie has things that I know he has things that he wants to say and add, and we didn't really get to where he could do that. So I think we should split this and do a part 2. We'll figure out when we're going to do it. I might do it next week, or I might just delay it do it 2 weeks out like I was planning on doing, but then again, I delayed this a week. So I might just do it next week to offset and get back on the schedule I had planned. But we'll see, because I do have another idea that I want to jump on after we're done with the whole Legend of Zelda thing. But since Legend of Zelda is so massive, and thinking of an MMO for it is going to be even bigger, it's just one of those things where it has to be done in
You're insane for
servings.
bringing this up, bro.
Well, hey, I was the
No,
one
no,
that
it's
technically brought it up.
it's
If you
pure awesome,
really
but
want
I'm
to technical,
kind of insane, but awesome at the same time.
if you want to get technical though, I mean, I thought about it before, but if you want to get technical though, that was brought up during that Gamers at Large podcast. And I think Nate was the one that said it. So that's where I'm like, technically, I ran with the idea he brought up because we didn't really dive into it. But like that's what I wanted to do, was dive into it and kind of just see how far we could go with it without, like, ruining the franchise. Because oh gosh, if it ruined the franchise, I would feel embarrassed in myself.
You would not live. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry. I'm
I would
sorry.
be hunted
That
down.
was
I know
cruel.
that.
I
I
should
would
have
know,
said
but
that.
that's how people feel, though. So, I know that. I mean, if somebody ruined it for me, I would feel the same way.
Well,
So,
I love Legend of Zelda, but I don't have any tattoos for it. I know plenty of people that have tattoos for this game.
I know. But I think for now we will close off, because if we keep going, we're probably going to go for 4, 5, maybe 6 hours. And
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to sit through anything that long. And I think we're at like 2 hours and like maybe 10 minutes now. I'm not looking at the timer, so I don't know. It's just a random guess. I might be right, I might be wrong.
Actually, you're right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Dang, I am. I'm
Mhm.
good at keeping time without actually keeping it. But and I found it. It's the Sheikah people. The Sheikah people. That's what it is for that class. The
Sheik?
Sheikah.
They're
Sheikah.
called Sheikah?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I couldn't remember it, but I knew what it was. But it came to me, so it's Sheikah. All right. So that's. I just wanted to say that, because if I didn't, I would have forgot.
No, it's good,
But,
because I'm sure somebody would have tried to correct this in the comment section anyways.
I'm pretty sure somebody, I mean, they would look at it like, yeah, you forgot that it's the Sheikah, and then get all the end of the video like, well, I wrote that for no reason. But you did write it for a reason, because it wasn't anywhere in the beginning. Throughout to it came at the end, so there's a reason.
Right.
But, yep. So we'll start doing sign-offs. So I will go with Mr. Good Shepherd here. Let you go ahead and do yours first.
Alright, word. Like I said at the beginning, this is me, the Good Shepherd. I'm finally doing the video that I promised 5 million years ago. There was a lot
You
more.
promised it during the dinosaurs?
Yeah, see, I have OCD, and I like to put in as much as I'm random in our podcast. I like to put in the right detail. So I gotta find all the source stuff. So I'm doing it tomorrow officially. I don't know when it'll post. Probably Monday or Tuesday, depending on how long YouTube uploads it. But thanks for listening to us. Good stuff. Look forward to part 2. We'll try to put awesome content, but shorter.
And we'll try to get the other people that were not here that we wanted to be here, because
There you
those
go.
people are awesome and they probably have some ideas that we didn't have.
Exactly.
So we'll try to get them in.
Thanks for listening, people. Next.
Okay, we'll go with the gamer man who has the multiple voices and multiple personalities.
Finish the drawing, damn it. Sorry, I had to say that.
Well, of course, I do have many personalities.
But yes, thank you guys for watching here at his Games Foundry, and trust me, part 2 will be even better since there's gonna be more people, and make sure you go check him out, because I actually did read through a lot of his ideas and they're really interesting. trust me, these future episodes will be fantastic. I can just tell by everything I've read and seen. So basically, guys, all I'm just gotta say is, don't be afraid. Don't lose your way. Game till the end.
Here,
Peace.
here.
Okay, and Mr. Butterworthy with the worthiest butter in the land, so worthy that it's more grand than gold.
I gotta say,
Lightning,
Game's voice reminded me of the movie Guy. In a world.
In a world.
Exactly. There you go. Anyway, Jamie Butterworth. Check out my channel, Butterworthy. I'm a hell of a lot better when I'm not tired as hell, so check me out.
I kind of figured something was up. He was just like, letting them talk, and
I'm
I'm
not used to
listening.
him being
I'm
this
letting them talk
quiet.
and listening.
Like, I'm gonna sit
Quite
here and watch Food Network and pet my cat while trying not to fall asleep. Cool.
Oh.
Are you the claw from Inspector Gadget?
I was not gonna be like, yeah. We just need to put you in the shadows.
Oh man! Give him a silver hand.
Oh yeah.
Just have from the neck down. Have a black tuxedo on. Man, that would be funny. Wow. I really did enjoy this. I mean, it's like it's difficult to think of a Legend of Zelda game and try to do it better than the creators of it themselves. And if you heard anything that was like a vast improvement that you thought of, or that we thought of, I mean, it's honestly, I would love for people to just like, say, hey, I want to join. I would bring you in. I have no problem doing that. I mean, like I said before in the last one, this whole thing is about expressing and sharing ideas. And if I can do that with my channel and it eventually gets to the point where the big name companies are actually coming down to the level of the gamer to find out what they think and what the ideas that they want to express or see, anything creative that might actually help, I'm for it. Like I said before, if a person checks out my channel and they have an idea, I will take a back seat and just listen in and be a panelist and let them do their work. Because if you have a really good idea that you want to express, that you just want to get out there, this is the place for it. The Gamer Idea Foundry. It speaks for itself, the name. Build ideas here. That's what we did tonight. And it was honestly fun because it got my mind going, and I'm pretty sure it got a couple other people's minds going. And that's all I want to do. That's the purpose of my channel. And if you haven't figured that out yet, I'd be surprised. Because that's almost all I do is talk about my game ideas or my ideas for system improvements. Yeah. Sometimes I might throw out a weird idea. I've done it a few times, and sometimes I've put out ideas that I later think are stupid.
Stop.
But
It's a weird idea. It's just based on the scenario.
yeah,
That's
I
all.
mean,
Continue.
gosh, you people will love the idea I have after we actually finish up this whole Legend of Zelda thing. And this game is not the one that you think it is. I have one I'm going to do before that, and it just came to me today. But I will leave people with a hint, and I want to see if anyone can figure it out. The idea is inspired by a game that's already out. It came out on the Wii. This game was panned as bad, but I've played it myself. It's actually quite interesting. And the first letter of the name of the game is a C. And the last thing I can give you is that it was made by Hudson Soft. That is it. I will leave it there. But since I've rambled on enough, and I know I do that a lot, I try not to, but it's a habit. I appreciate the fact that you listened in, and hopefully you enjoyed the thoughts and ideas expressed, as I've said before. So until the next time, keep your eyes and ears out for more of my stuff. Till then, enjoy your games. And we're out.
Game on.